Today I will share with you some life-changing philosophy. Before we start, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, comment where are you watching from and at what time you are watching. Have a nice sleep. Does your mind seem hardwired to focus on the negative? Scientists call this the negativity bias, and today we're going to learn how to combat it. To quote David Goggins, the same voice that says, "Give up," can also be trained to say, "Keep going." In this video, we'll go over 5 techniques you can use to banish negativity from your life and shift to a proactive Stoic mindset. Because you don't have to let negativity win. You can use your mind to stay focused on what you can change and then make that change happen in the world. We'll start with cognitive diffusion, a powerful method to create distance between you and your thoughts. Then, we'll move on to pattern interruption, a technique to break negative thought loops in their tracks. After that, we'll describe negative visualization with a twist, an ancient Stoic practice reimagined for the modern mind. We'll go into behavioral activation, because sometimes the best way to change your thoughts is to change your actions. And finally, we'll talk about mental model design, restructuring your thought patterns so they serve you and not the other way around. But before we begin, let's answer the question, when is negativity a problem? It's not wrong to say I can't find my wallet or I'm locked out of my house. That's not what I mean by negativity. What I mean by negativity is very opinionated, negative thoughts that aren't helping you achieve your goals. Thoughts that are only causing you to feel bad and work less. These are the kinds of thoughts that would fit under the category of depression or sometimes even apathy. Our core belief here is that we live in a world where we can improve our situation with our thoughts and our actions. If what you're thinking goes against this, we call that negativity. As Epictetus said, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control our reactions to it. Having better reactions is what this video is about. So let's get started with our first technique, cognitive diffusion. What does that mean? Cognitive diffusion is a psychological technique that helps you step back from your thoughts and see them for what they really are. They are just thoughts, not facts or reality. The word diffusion is the opposite of fusion. It's about separating yourself from your thoughts for a moment instead of being fused or stuck to them. Here are a few examples of how cognitive diffusion works in action. Instead of saying, "I'm a failure," you learn to notice, "I'm having the thought that I'm failing right now." Rather than thinking, "Nobody likes me," you observe, "My mind is telling me nobody likes me." Instead of believing, "I can't handle this," you recognize, "I'm noticing thoughts about not being able to handle this." Now that we know what is happening, we can tackle it. Here are some techniques you can use if you notice it's time for cognitive diffusion. Leaves on a stream. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating down a stream. You are simply watching them pass by, going farther and farther away. You don't have to engage with them, you can just observe. Thank your mind. When you have a negative thought, respond with thanks for that thought. This creates distance. You've recognized the thought and acknowledged it, and for now, that's enough. Name the story. Label recurring thought patterns with names that fit. Like, "There's my not good enough story again." Noticing it and giving it a name helps loosen its grip over you. Create imaginary physical distance. Imagine writing your thought on a balloon and watching it float away. It's like the leaves on a stream technique, but with a bigger, more vivid physical aspect. You're mentally sending the thought away, putting it in timeout. You may come back to it later, but you don't need it in front of you right now. To recap, you can use leaves on a stream, thank your mind, name the story, and create physical distance whenever you need to practice cognitive diffusion. You can do this whenever you're having intense negative thoughts, to give yourself some breathing room, calm down, and think clearly. The key insight of cognitive diffusion is that you are not your thoughts. You're the observer who can notice thoughts coming and going. This creates mental flexibility and reduces the power negativity has over you. Now let's move on to our second technique, pattern interruption. What is pattern interruption? This is a psychological method that helps you break free from negativity by switching your mental or physical state when your mind gets stuck in a cycle of harmful thoughts. It acts like hitting a reset button on your brain. Your brain creates pathways that strengthen with repetition. When you repeatedly think negative thoughts, these pathways become well-traveled roads that your mind naturally follows. Think of it like water flowing down a hill. It naturally takes the path of least resistance. When these patterns take hold, one negative thought triggers another. So how do we break out of these patterns? One way is simple. Use temperature. Splash cold water on your face. Take a hot shower. Hold an ice cube in your hand. The sudden temperature shift jolts your nervous system out of the cycle it was in. Another method is movement. Stand up and stretch. Break out a jump rope. Simply walk to another room. Physical movement is an easy way to change the thought pattern that was present while you were still. Math or mental problems work in a similar way. If you've got 5 minutes and you're having negative thoughts, you might turn to a short, not too long game. The concentration required can make it difficult to maintain negative thoughts. Hopefully you get the idea. The key is to create an interruption toolkit that you can access whenever you need it. Start by identifying your common negative thought patterns. Notice when they occur. Then select a pattern interruption technique that resonates with you and is practical in those situations. It's simple, but it works. Now, let's move on to our third technique. Behavioral activation. Behavioral activation is based on a powerful truth. Sometimes the best way to change your thoughts isn't more thinking, it's taking action. As Marcus Aurelius put it, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Instead of endlessly analyzing why you're feeling negative, behavioral activation encourages you to act your way into a new way of thinking. Here's how you do it. Embrace the 2-minute rule. When negativity hits, commit to just 2 minutes of positive action. Too depressed to clean your house? Just clean for 2 minutes. Avoiding an important project? Work on it for just 2 minutes. Often, you'll find yourself continuing beyond those first minutes once you've overcome the inertia of starting. Focus on building a positive history of action. Each small action you take creates evidence that contradicts your negative beliefs. If you think, I never follow through on anything, completing even one small task provides concrete proof against that thought. Over time, these positive data points add up, making it harder to maintain negative narratives. Create specific action plans for different thought types. For thoughts like, I'm not making progress, your action might be to list 3 things you've accomplished. For I'll never be good enough, your action could be practicing a skill for 15 minutes. The key is having pre-planned responses ready when specific negative thoughts appear. Track your successes to build momentum. Keep a simple log of the actions you take and how they affect your mood. This creates a visible record of your progress and helps you identify the activities that help you feel the best. When negative thoughts tell you that nothing matters or nothing will help, behavioral activation challenges that directly benefit with evidence. It's hard to maintain the belief that you're powerless when you're actively taking steps to improve your situation. To summarize, start small with the 2-minute rule. Build positive data points that contradict your negative beliefs. Create specific action plans for different thought patterns. Track your successes to reinforce progress. This technique works because it moves you from passive to active within the context of your life. And that shift alone can be enough to break the grip of negativity and put you back on top. Our fourth technique is all about gradual improvement. It's called thought recording. The idea is simple. By examining your thoughts systematically, you can learn to separate critical thinking from unhelpful negativity. It starts with tracking your thoughts effectively. Today we have powerful tools in our pockets that can help us do this. Apps like Mood Notes, Thought Diary, or even just a simple notes app on your phone. The key is to write down emotional thoughts quickly as soon as they come to you. Once you've captured a thought, here's what to do with it. Examine the evidence, both for and against. Example, if you think my presentation was a disaster, you might list evidence for, I stumbled over my words, but also challenge it with evidence against, my boss thanked me afterward. This approach helps you generate a balanced perspective. Instead of thinking, I'm terrible at presentations, you might conclude, I had some rough moments, but I also connected with my audience. With practice, I can improve. Keep the good critical insights while discarding unhelpful negativity. As the Stoics understood, acknowledging reality, including its difficulties, is crucial for developing wisdom. Thought recording is about seeing situations clearly without the distortion of excessive pessimism. To recap, next time you notice a persistent negative thought, write it down exactly as it appears in your mind. List evidence both for and against it. Create a more balanced alternative that represents the truth of the situation better. What you'll often find is that your belief in the negative thought decreases, not because you've forced yourself to think positive, but because you've engaged with reality more fully. And that can only be a good thing. Our fifth and final technique is mental model design. While our other techniques help you work with negative thoughts as they arise, mental model design is about restructuring your environment to prevent negativity from taking hold in the first place. Think of it this way. If you wanted to eat healthier, you wouldn't just rely on willpower. Each time you open the fridge, you'd stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove temptations. The same principle applies to your mental environment. Let's start with your physical space. Your surroundings have a profound impact on your thoughts. The ancient Stoics understood this. Seneca advised carefully choosing the company we keep and the environments we live in. This could be as simple as creating a dedicated area for focused work, free from distractions, or it could mean decluttering your living space to reduce visual chaos that contributes to mental noise. Research shows that people who work in organized environments are able to persist longer on challenging tasks, a win that helps you overcome the circumstances that allow negative thoughts to arise. Next, consider your digital environment. Our devices can be gateways to either inspiration or despair. Try this. Audit your phone's home screen and social media feeds. Replace apps that trigger anxiety with tools that support reflection or learning. Set boundaries around news consumption if you find it feeds your negativity bias. Beyond your physical and digital spaces, mental model design includes creating positive, thought-supporting routines. The Stoics emphasize the importance of daily practices that strengthen the mind. Marcus Aurelius began each day with journaling to set his intentions and remind himself of his values. You might establish a morning routine that includes a gratitude practice or visualization of successful outcomes, or an evening routine that involves reflecting on what went well, not just what went wrong. These practices create pathways in your mind that make positive thinking more automatic over time. Finally, mental model design involves having the courage to restructure your life situation. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is remove yourself from environments that are fundamentally misaligned with your values or growth. As Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Mental model design works because it acknowledges that humans are contextual beings. By thoughtfully shaping your environment, you're making it easier for your best self to emerge naturally. You're creating conditions where positivity becomes the path of least resistance rather than something you have to fight for constantly. In essence, you're designing a life where stoic resilience becomes your default setting. So, start there and then keep improving your environment to make yourself stronger. And with that, we reach our conclusion. In this video, we've explored 5 powerful Stoic techniques to overcome negativity: cognitive diffusion to create distance from unhelpful thoughts, pattern interruption to break negative mental cycles, behavioral activation to act your way into better thinking, thought recording to study your thoughts, mental model design to create an environment that supports positive thinking. The negativity bias is powerful, but so is your ability to reshape your thoughts and reaction. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By applying these Stoic principles consistently, you can transform your relationship with negativity and build resilience that serves you in every area of life. Whether you're starting a business, changing careers, or facing any other life challenge, we hope these principles help you find your way forward. Remember, like Epictetus said, you have the power to transform any circumstance into an opportunity for growth. Whether you're practicing cognitive diffusion, interrupting negative patterns, activating positive behaviors, recording your thoughts, or designing mental models, every moment is a chance to strengthen your inner citadel, to turn past failures into present strength. We often neglect the one person who is with us every step of the way, ourselves. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of solving problems for others and being a pillar of strength. Yet, when the curtains close and we're left in the quiet of our own company, the silence can be overwhelming. Stoicism reminds us that we are the masters of our own inner fortress, and the care we afford ourselves should be as rigorous and disciplined as a soldier preparing for battle. This isn't about indulgence, it's about survival. It's about ensuring that our energy, peace, and well-being are protected with the vigilance of a seasoned general who knows that the strength of an empire depends upon the resilience of its leader. As we delve into today's discussion on making ourselves a priority, remember, if this resonates with you, a simple free favor you could do is hit the subscribe button. Don't skip any part of the video. Every piece of wisdom here builds on the last, creating a blueprint for not just surviving, but thriving on your own terms. Join me on this journey, and let's explore these historical teachings together. Let's embrace Stoicism, not just as a philosophy, but as a daily practice to secure our personal well-being. Think about how many promises you've made to yourself and broken. How often have you planned to exercise, go to bed earlier, or eat healthier, only to let something else take priority? Now consider, if a friend behaved this way toward you, would you still trust them? Often we are the first to break promises to ourselves because we believe there are no consequences. Yet the real consequence is a profound lack of self-respect. If you want to inspire respect and take control of your life, you must start with respecting yourself. Whether you aim for better health, more wealth, inner peace, or greater discipline, maintaining your commitments is essential. Temporary changes won't suffice. Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling an empire and facing constant wars and betrayals, diligently recorded his reflections and flaws daily. He never outsourced his personal growth or discipline. This dedication to self-improvement begs the question: do you treat yourself as a priority, or are you neglecting your personal evolution, treating it as something that can be indefinitely postponed? The first commitment must be to yourself, not your boss, not your friends, and not your family. If you promise to rise early, then rise. If you commit to a project, see it through. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you reinforce a self-image of unworthiness and unreliability. But when you honor your commitments, you will notice a significant boost in self-esteem. You'll feel more in control, realizing you don't need external motivation. Your commitment is enough. This is the essence of discipline, acting not out of immediate desire, but from a deep-seated decision to respect yourself. The world will indeed test this commitment. There will always be distractions, easier paths, excuses. But in these moments you must decide, will you default to excuses, or will you fulfill your commitments? Remember, Stoicism teaches that we control only our actions, our responses. You might not control the circumstances around you, but you can always control how you react. The moment to act, the opportunity to uphold your commitments is now. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, because such a moment doesn't exist. So, what have you been postponing? What promise to yourself have you left unfulfilled? Whether it's something as simple as reading a transformative book, or as significant as starting a new project or breaking a bad habit, start now. Each day you delay is a day not lived to its fullest. Remember, the strength of a person is not determined by their talent, intelligence, or luck, but by their commitment to themselves. Today, make a pact to never again disrespect your own word, to never treat your commitments lightly, and to never see yourself as unimportant. Life does not send rescues. No one will come to take you by the hand and lead you to your desired destination. Stoicism clearly teaches that you are solely responsible for the direction of your own existence. Waiting for someone to guide you for the perfect moment or for an external solution is simply a waste of time. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that the only things within your power, your actions and decisions, are what truly matter. He cautioned against fretting over the injustice of others, luck, or the past. all of which are beyond your control. Many people live as if they are mere passengers in their own lives, passively waiting for fate to be kind or for someone else to solve their problems. This passive approach is a trap. Each day spent waiting is a day not truly lived. Life rewards action, not hesitation. While some may freeze in the face of uncertainty, others move forward despite not having all the answers. The latter group reaches further, proving that true strength lies in decisiveness, not in complete certainty. To lead your own life effectively, you must stop outsourcing your decisions to others and relying on their opinion. Abandon the naive notion that someone else will resolve your challenges. The world does not cater to our grievances or change just because we feel wronged. Reality marches on regardless of our involvement. Consider a ship adrift at sea, aimlessly pushed by the waves, an apt metaphor for someone who does not take charge of their life. Now contrast this with a seasoned navigator who, despite not controlling the storm, skillfully steers their ship, adjusting sails and tackling the waves head-on. This is the essence of leading your own life. Assuming this responsibility might seem burdensome, but in truth, it is liberating. Understanding that no one else can make your decisions or fight your battles frees you from the need to please others and from the fear of making mistakes. Stoicism teaches us to be emotionally self-sufficient, making choices based on personal integrity rather than the need for external approval. What distinguishes a fulfilling life from an empty one is the ability to make conscious choices, deciding what to tolerate, what thoughts to nurture, and what boundaries to set. If you do not actively make these choices, others will make them for you, often leading to a life that feels out of control and unfulfilling. Leading your life requires a daily commitment to this mindset, continually reminding yourself that you hold the ultimate responsibility for your path. While you may seek advice and learn from others, ultimately, the decisions are yours to make. If you don't take ownership of your life, be assured someone else will. Time waits for no one. Every morning, a new day dawns, ripe with choices and paths to be taken. Yet, many fail to realize that if they don't define their priorities, the world will. Living reactively, people often find themselves swayed by external demands and distractions, pulled in directions they never consciously chose, becoming mere pawns on another's chessboard. The reality is stark. Many believe they control their destiny, yet their days are cluttered with unchosen obligations and urgent but unimportant tasks. This scenario unfolds not by chance, but by failing to set personal priorities. Whether it's a demanding job, societal expectations, or mere procrastination, these forces conspire to waste our time on trivialities. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic luminary, understood that life's brevity meant each moment had to be used wisely. He knew that focus determines reality. Without direction, we drift aimlessly, like a leaf in the wind. His discipline in choosing priorities was not just about productivity, but a matter of honor, preserving the precious commodity of time. Historically, the great achievers weren't those who busied themselves with everything, but those who focused on what truly mattered. They eliminated the irrelevant, zeroing in on their true objectives. Today, however, many live on autopilot, inundated by a deluge of notifications and distractions, making it a near Herculean task to maintain focus. The danger is in the realization coming too late. Years pass, filled with regret for not taking control sooner, for spending more time solving others' problems than pursuing personal dreams. Stoicism teaches us to live each day as if it were our last, valuing the present and ensuring our actions are meaningful. Setting priorities is challenging. It requires effort to swim against the current of conformity, to make decisions that carve a distinct path rather than follow the crowd. True clarity about what matters simplifies choices. It leads to rejecting unnecessary engagements and focusing on actions that build toward real goals. Discovering what deserves priority starts with honest reflection, considering what changes would genuinely enhance your life. It means being ruthless in cutting out the superfluous and focusing on what's truly essential. By consciously setting your priorities, you're choosing to say no to distractions and yes to your life. Each day is a blank slate. If you don't decide how to fill it, others will. The Stoics knew that wisdom lies in controlling what we can, our time and our actions. They implored us to choose intentionally before circumstances choose for us. Every day, many people find themselves merely reacting to their surroundings, buffeted by the whims of external forces. Whether it's a rude remark that stirs anger, a traffic jam that breeds impatience, or bad news that saps spirits, reactions often seem automatic and out of control. But living this way means never truly holding the reins of your own life. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, understood this deeply. They believed that to live a fulfilling life, one must not avoid challenges, since difficulties are inevitable, but should learn not to be governed by knee-jerk reactions. Marcus Aurelius, ruling over a vast empire, could not afford the luxury of reactive leadership. His strength came from a deliberate approach to action, a profound understanding that he must choose responses based on wisdom, not whim. The contrast between those who lead their lives and those who merely react is stark. Reactors are constantly at the mercy of external conditions, scrambling to address issues after they arise, often feeling victimized by their circumstances. However, true leaders shape their own paths. They anticipate challenges and set a proactive course for their lives. If you've ever felt upset by unexpected events or minor irritations, it's likely because reactive living grants these externalities power over your inner peace. Remember, the world is inherently imperfect, filled with challenges and provocations. The key is to change not the world around you, but how you respond to it. Consider a storm. Many panic, driven by fear into futile actions, while the steady, those who lead, assess the situation and make calculated decisions. They face the storm not with fear, but with strategy and resolve. Leading your life means crafting a plan, setting your direction based on enduring values rather than fleeting emotions. Those on autopilot, who react without thought, are often manipulated by the agendas of others, through media, societal pressure, or even social net. Choosing to lead rather than react means declaring that your life will not be dictated by external forces. It involves strategic decision-making, a refusal to let frustrations dictate your reactions. History's great leaders and thinkers weren't impulsive. They maintained their composure and clarity even amidst chaos. Now, ask yourself, are you living by your principles, or are you reacting to the world around you? Are you making conscious choices, or are you merely trying to keep up with life's demands? True change starts when you realize that not every provocation requires a response, and not every challenge must deplete your energy. If you find yourself constantly putting out fires, consider whether you're letting external factors steer your life's direction. Stoicism teaches us that we control only our actions and responses, nothing more. This means you have the power to choose calm over agitation, solutions over despair, and progress over stagnation. Time is relentless. It doesn't pause or look back. While it passes, those who lead with intention carve out meaningful existences, moving steadily toward their goals. In contrast, those who react drift along, often looking back with regret at time misspent. Not all battles in life are fought against external forces. Often, they are within the circles we choose, among people we share our days with. Unfortunately, not everyone in our lives serves to strengthen, support, or inspire us. Some may subtly drain our energy, diminish our motivation, and undermine our confidence, pulling us back rather than propelling us forward. Stoicism teaches us to protect our minds from factors beyond our control, including the negative influences of those around us. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, cautioned about the company we keep, noting that the wrong associates can corrupt even the strongest spirits. Reflect on this. If someone consistently devalues your achievements, ridicules your dreams, or undermines your self-esteem, why allow them space in your life? The time spent with such individuals is time stolen from your personal development, a high price to pay for relationships that offer nothing positive. Often, the fear of loneliness drives people to cling to toxic relationships or unfulfilling friendships. However, consider what is worse: being alone temporarily while you strengthen your resolve, or continuously being surrounded by those who sap your energy and stunt your growth. Loneliness, when embraced, can be a powerful phase of empowerment. while the wrong company can act as a silent prison, trapping you in mediocrity. Remember, protecting your energy is not an act of selfishness, it's a necessary form of self-preservation. You cannot support everyone, and you should not have to convince anyone of your worth. Your personal growth does not require anyone's approval. True supporters will encourage your development without conditions. Marcus Aurelius, faced with envy and manipulation, never allowed external criticisms to sway him from his path. He remained focused on what was truly important, his values, his duties, and his personal growth. Like him, you must assess the influence of those around you. Do they help you grow, or do they hold you back? Are they sources of inspiration or sources of doubt? If the influence is negative, consider distancing yourself. This doesn't mean you must end relationships abruptly or create conflict. Instead, realign your priorities quietly. Spend your time with those who enrich your life and engage in activities that contribute to your growth. Be vigilant about protecting your energy as diligently as you guard your time and your thoughts. If someone consistently undermines your confidence or questions your efforts, it's time to evaluate their role in your life. True progress requires letting go of burdens that aren't yours to carry. Choose the company you keep with care. They have a significant impact on your life's trajectory. The most decisive battles are not waged on a physical battlefield, but within the confines of your own mind. Your thoughts directly influence how you feel, act, and perceive your potential. A mind plagued by insecurity, doubt, and self-sabotage predestines you for defeat before you even engage with the world. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, taught that we are not disturbed by events themselves, but by the views we adopt about them. It's not the obstacles that define us, it's how we interpret them. Consider the process of a blacksmith forging a blade. The metal isn't born sharp, it is heated, hammered, and honed with precision. Similarly, your mind requires regular conditioning to remain sharp. Neglected, it can become as ineffective as a rusty blade, unfit for the battles of life. Those who train their bodies yet neglect their minds might appear strong, but they often falter under pressure due to internal fragility, manifesting as fear of failure, paralysis under stress, or chronic self-doubt. Your reality is sculpted by the thoughts you nurture. A mindset steeped in defeatism leads to a life lived in the shadows of failure. Conversely, a mind trained for resilience, strategy, and optimism can withstand the greatest of life's challenges. The good news is that the power to reshape your mind is entirely in your hands. Thoughts, like muscles, strengthen with consistent exercise. Focus on fostering mental patterns that empower and support your aspirations. A well-trained mind can manage doubt and fear without being overwhelmed by them. It possesses the clarity to use every experience as a stepping stone toward growth. The Stoics believed that while the world could strip you of material possessions and external stability, your thoughts remain inviolably yours. Therefore, the real question is whether you are actively fortifying your mental fortitude or allowing it to degrade in an autopilot existence. Many accept limiting beliefs without scrutiny. I'm not good enough, I always fail, or this won't work for me. These negative scripts often stem not from factual assessments, but from past hurts and the projected opinions of others. A robust mind challenges these narratives, evaluating and rejecting them if they don't align with reality. Consider what your mind has been absorbing. Are your thoughts reinforcing your strengths, or are they eroding your confidence? Remember, the true battlefield lies within, and victory is determined not by external circumstances, but by internal resilience. Take charge of your cognitive processes. Don't let your mind become your adversary. Instead, cultivate it as your ally, one that propels you toward your goals with precision and positivity. The outcomes you experience in life are reflections of the thoughts you choose to entertain and believe. Solitude is often misunderstood. Far from being a sign of weakness, it is a profound source of strength. In our noise-filled world, we are taught to view being alone as a problem, a symbol of failure or abandonment. Yet history's greatest minds, from Stoic philosophers to visionary leaders, have recognized solitude as a vital opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The Stoics, in particular, valued solitude not as a curse, but as a precious gift. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by the demands of his empire, cherished his moments alone for reflection. Epictetus, from his humble beginnings as a slave to becoming a revered philosopher, emphasized the importance of finding peace within oneself rather than seeking it through others. Seneca, through his letters, spoke of how true loneliness isn't about the absence of others, but the inability to be comfortable in one's own company. When you learn to be alone without feeling lonely, you unlock a transformative power. Solitude becomes not just a momentary retreat, but a space to engage deeply with your own thoughts, to reflect on your actions, and to plan your future. It is here in the quiet that you can truly listen to your own voice and forge a formidable inner strength that external circumstances cannot shake. Many avoid solitude, fearing the discomfort it may bring, filling their lives with endless distractions, social media, entertainment, and superficial interactions to escape facing themselves. But avoidance keeps you weak. It leaves you unprepared for life's inevitable challenges. Being alone should not be equated with being lost. On the contrary, it offers a unique chance to find yourself, to understand your desires, and to cultivate resilience. Consider this: the most intense growth often occurs not in the presence of others, but in the solitude of one's mind. Like warriors who train away from the battlefield, individuals who embrace solitude use it to sharpen their minds and fortify their spirits. They emerge not only ready to face the world, but also to shape it according to their vision. The challenge, then, is not to avoid solitude, but to embrace it, to see it as a vital phase of self-development, where you can establish a foundation of self-sufficiency. This doesn't mean cutting off relationships or eschewing social interactions, but rather ensuring that your relationship with yourself is the core from which strength radiates. In the silence of being alone, ask yourself, are you comfortable with who you are? Are you ready to use this time not as a punishment, but as a profound period of personal growth? Those who master solitude master themselves and become truly unshakable, no matter what life throws their way. Respect is not something you can buy, demand, or plead for. It must be earned. But crucially, it can only be genuinely received from those who respect themselves. Expecting respect from someone who lives in neglect of their own worth is an exercise in futility. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and to disregard the rest. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized acting with justice, integrity, and wisdom, irrespective of how others treat us, highlighting that those who do not respect themselves are often unable to genuinely respect others. Reflect on the times you felt disappointment from not receiving the acknowledgement you deserve. Consider the energy and time spent seeking approval from those who do not even value themselves. Such efforts are doomed from the start. Respect mirrors the appreciation visible within one's self. It cannot be forced from those who have none for themselves. Many try to win over individuals who undervalue everything. They fail to understand, however, that you may appear as a threat rather than a figure deserving respect to someone entrenched in mediocrity and self-pity. Those lacking principles might feel threatened by your discipline and integrity, responding not with respect, but with minimization or ridicule. The Stoic way teaches us to pick our battles wisely. It is ineffective and exhausting to seek respect from those incapable of giving it. Your role is not to educate everyone on the virtues of principled living, but to embody those virtues yourself without seeking external validation. When you cease to seek respect from those who cannot offer it, you empower yourself. You realize that the only respect that truly matters is the respect you hold for yourself. This internal respect fosters true strength and independence. The Stoics lived this truth. They did not court external approval but found satisfaction in living righteously according to their own moral standards. This realization liberates you. No longer will you expend energy trying to change perceptions that are immovable. Instead, you will live freely, guided by your values and principles, not swayed by the need for external affirmation. True respect starts from within and radiates outward. When you respect yourself and live unapologetically according to your principles, you become truly unshakable. Ask yourself, are you living for the recognition of others, or are you living a life true to your values? Remember, the respect that counts the most is the respect you earn from yourself. Do not waste time on those who have not learned to see their own value. Continue to be steadfast, integral, and forward-moving. True confidence doesn't happen by accident, nor does it suddenly manifest when you need it most. It is meticulously crafted during unseen moments through silent preparation, unnoticed decisions, and seemingly insignificant daily habits that ultimately shape who you are. Many mistakenly believe that confidence springs forth from external recognition, opportunities, or overcoming challenges. However, real confidence stems from actions taken when no one is watching. A warrior's strength isn't proven on the battlefield alone, nor does a speaker's eloquence emerge solely before an audience. Just as a wise person's wisdom isn't confined to moments of decision, all these traits are the results of what has been diligently built in private. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, emphasize that strength is cultivated through routine and discipline, not spontaneous acts of heroism. They knew that the foundation of a resilient life is laid away from the public eye. If you aspire to be formidable when the world challenges you, your discipline must be consistent during moments of solitude. The way you perform when everyone is watching is a direct reflection of what you've practiced in privacy. If your daily life is riddled with procrastination and half-hearted commitments, you'll find yourself unprepared for critical moments. Conversely, if you establish robust habits, train your mind for resilience, and maintain unwavering discipline, you'll be equipped to handle any adversity. Self-confidence doesn't arise from superficial praise or accolades. It is born from the deep-seated knowledge that you are well prepared. It is knowing that you've addressed and conquered your weaknesses long before they ever have a chance to be exposed publicly. Your self-assurance is built on the countless times you've chosen to act with integrity rather than take the easy way out, reinforcing to yourself that you are capable and ready. The challenge many face is desiring the fruits of confidence without investing in the roots of preparation. They wish to feel powerful without engaging in the hard work that true strength requires. Life, however, doesn't reward the unprepared. The Stoics were clear. Consistent preparation is the key to enduring any of life's trials. By practicing self-discipline daily and pushing your limits in private, you ensure you are ready for whatever comes your way. Ask yourself, what are you doing when no one's looking? How are you shaping your mind, your character, your resilience? Are you actively preparing or merely hoping that confidence will find you unbidden? Remember, the most critical work happens offstage. In the quiet moments of preparation, you forge the steel of your spirit, ready to shine when the spotlight finds you. True confidence is not about boasting or believing blindly that things will work out. It's about knowing with quiet certainty that you are prepared for anything life throws at you. It's the peace that comes from having done the work, even when no one else was watching. Motivation is transient, often seen as essential for success but truly unreliable when it matters most. It provides an initial spark, yet fades quickly, leaving you stranded on challenging days. This is why relying solely on motivation can be detrimental to achieving long-term goals. The Stoics, understanding the deceptive nature of motivation, relied instead on discipline, commitment, and the cultivation of steadfast habits. Epictetus emphasized the daily practice of virtues, not just when convenient. Marcus Aurelius, even in his role as emperor, acted not out of motivation but from a sense of duty, knowing well that waiting for motivation is a trap. Success isn't a result of fleeting emotions, but the product of habits practiced consistently, regardless of one's emotional state. Consider a warrior preparing for battle, who doesn't train only when motivated. They train relentlessly to ensure readiness, regardless of their mood. Life demands the same discipline, regular action, irrespective of desire. Building something substantial, be it a personal goal or a professional project, requires consistency that outlasts momentary motivation. Habit formation is crucial, as it underpins any significant achievement. Actions should stem from a commitment to these habits, not the whims of feeling inspired. Many fail because they are conditioned to act only when they feel right, a notion that undermines the very essence of discipline. The Stoic philosophy teaches that self-control and habitual action are paramount and far superior to being driven by fleeting emotions. Motivation may waver like a flickering flame, but a well-established habit burns steadily, providing continuous momentum. Reflect on whether your actions are motivated by fleeting emotions or grounded in robust habits. The path to success is paved with consistent, disciplined actions that become second nature, reinforcing your progress regardless of external conditions. In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to feel like we're drowning in a sea of stress and uncertainty. Yet, there's a way to find calm amidst the storm, a path to inner peace that has stood the test of time. Picture this: despite everything that's thrown at you, work pressures, personal conflicts, unexpected challenges, you can stand firm, unshaken, and serene. This isn't just a dream, it's the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us how to master our emotions and reactions to live a more fulfilled life. Today we're diving into the heart of Stoicism, exploring 10 timeless principles that can transform the way you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. These principles are not abstract theories, but practical tools that you can apply every day to build resilience and inner strength. Whether you're struggling with a difficult relationship, feeling overwhelmed by your responsibilities, or simply seeking a deeper sense of purpose, the wisdom of Stoicism offers profound insights and practical strategies to help you thrive. Stay with me as we journey through these powerful Stoic teachings, from learning how to maintain a firm purpose in life to mastering the art of emotional control. Each principle is a stepping stone to a life where external events no longer dictate your inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and tools to cultivate a state of calm and confidence no matter what life throws your way. So, let's embark on this transformative journey together and discover how the ancient wisdom of Stoicism can help you achieve unshakable tranquility and true happiness. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button, and don't skip any part of the video. Imagine setting sail on a vast ocean without a clear destination. You drift aimlessly, subject to every shift in the wind and wave. That's what life feels like without a firm purpose, directionless and vulnerable to external forces. Epictetus emphasized the importance of having clear, firm purposes. He said, "Difficulties show a person's character, and the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." This isn't just a philosophical musing. It's a call to action. When you have a firm purpose, it's like having a compass that guides you through life's tumultuous seas. This purpose doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's crafted through moments of deep reflection on what truly matters to you. It's not just about career goals or personal achievements, but also about the principles and values you want to dedicate your life to. What do you stand for? What kind of person do you aspire to be? These are the questions you need to answer to find your firm purpose. Once you identify your purpose, it acts as an anchor, grounding you amidst the chaos. Life will throw challenges your way. This is inevitable. But with a firm purpose, these challenges become more manageable. They turn from insurmountable mountains into stepping stones that you can climb. Think of it this way. When your goals and values are crystal clear, the world around you seems to shrink. Colossal challenges become small steps in the journey toward your ultimate purpose. This inner strength, cultivated through Stoic wisdom, cannot be easily defeated. A firm purpose is not something you stumble upon by chance. It's the result of deliberate, deep reflection on what genuinely matters to you. This reflection requires time and honesty. You must dig deep into your soul, beyond superficial desires and fleeting wants, to discover what truly drives you. This might involve reevaluating your life's direction, shedding old habits, or embracing new perspectives. It's a continuous process of self-discovery and alignment with your true self. Once you've found this purpose and ingrained it into your heart, the next step is to apply diligence to protect and nurture it. This involves perseverance and a steadfast commitment to your goals. It's about showing up every day, even when the going gets tough. It's about pushing through setbacks and failures, knowing that they are part of the journey. Remember, a firm purpose isn't just a destination, it's a guiding light that helps you navigate life's journey with confidence and resilience. Think of a firm purpose as a beacon in the night. It not only guides you, but also provides a sense of security and stability. When life's whirlwinds try to pull you off course, your firm purpose acts as a lifebuoy, keeping you from sinking into the sea of emotions and difficult circumstances. This is the power of Stoicism. It's not just a set of rules for living. It's a profound understanding of the power of will and determination. Epictetus reminds us that true power lies in our ability to stay committed to our purpose despite external obstacles. In the light of this philosophy, nothing is impossible, and nothing can shake your resilient spirit. So, take some time to reflect deeply on your purpose. Write it down, internalize it, and let it guide you. This firm purpose will be your anchor, your beacon, and your unwavering guide through the storms of life. When someone offends us, it's natural to feel hurt and want to retaliate. But here's where Stoicism steps in with a powerful lesson. Our emotions are the result of our thoughts and personal perspectives. This means we have the power to choose how to respond to any situation. Instead of letting offense overwhelm us, we can see it as an opportunity to strengthen our patience and self-awareness. Think of it like this. Every time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you're building a mental muscle. You're training your mind to remain calm and composed no matter what. Mind control is not just a skill. It's an art that requires daily practice. Start with small habits that help you regain control over your thoughts. For instance, set small, achievable goals every day. Each time you accomplish a goal, no matter how minor, you build self-confidence and reinforce your ability to control your mind. Focus on living in the present moment and deepening your understanding of your emotions. When you start to realize that you have the power to choose your reactions, you'll become resilient to challenges and less swayed by negative emotions. Consider the story of a baker who dedicates every day to perfecting their craft. This baker isn't swayed by excessive criticism or praise. They focus solely on improving their skills, paying no mind to external opinions. This single-minded dedication allows them to achieve true freedom and inner peace. Similarly, by guarding your mind against external influences, you can focus on your own growth. Guarding your mind also involves setting boundaries. Be mindful of what you allow into your mental space. Just as you wouldn't let garbage into your home, don't let negative thoughts, toxic people, or harmful media clutter your mind. Surround yourself with positive influences that uplift and inspire you. Read books that expand your knowledge. Engage in conversations that challenge and grow your thinking. And spend time with people who support and encourage you. Stoic philosophy isn't just a classical discipline. It's a powerful tool for modern life. By learning to control our minds and handle our emotions maturely, we can achieve genuine peace and freedom amidst a volatile and uncertain world. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but understanding them deeply and responding in a way that aligns with our values and purpose. One practical technique is to practice mindfulness or meditation. These practices help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, creating a gap between stimulus and response. In that gap lies your power and freedom. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to observe without immediately reacting, giving you greater control over your emotional landscape. Another aspect of guarding your mind is cultivating a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your comfort. When you encounter difficulties, remind yourself that every obstacle is a chance to become stronger and wiser. This shift in perspective can transform how you experience adversity, making you more resilient and less susceptible to negative influences. Remember, guarding your mind is a lifelong journey. It's about consistently choosing to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your responses, and your attitudes. It's about rejecting the victim mentality and embracing the role of an active creator of your own experience. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And soon enough, you'll find that external events have less and less power over your inner peace. Epictetus taught that we cannot control the opinions or actions of others, but we can control how we react to them. This principle means that even when someone criticizes us harshly, we have the power to decide how much that criticism will affect us. In today's world, this translates to accepting that everyone has their own perspectives and values, which may not always align with ours. It's normal to encounter differing opinions and sometimes harsh words. What matters is how we process and respond to these situations. The first step in handling criticism is understanding ourselves deeply. When you have a clear understanding of your motivations and the reasons behind your actions, criticism from others loses its sting. If you know you are acting according to your values and principles, negative words from others become less significant. This self-awareness creates a strong foundation that protects you from being easily swayed by external opinions. When faced with criticism, instead of reacting defensively, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself if there is any truth in the criticism. Sometimes even harsh feedback can contain valuable insights that can help us grow. This doesn't mean you have to accept all criticism as valid, but being open to considering it shows maturity and a willingness to learn. Stoicism also teaches the importance of patience and gentleness. Patience allows us to maintain our composure and not react hastily or negatively to criticism. Gentleness helps us maintain good relationships with others, even when they disagree with us or criticize us. Think of the lives of saints and ascetics who faced harm and insult with patience and kindness, always holding fast to their chosen path. By practicing patience and gentleness, we can handle criticism without letting it disrupt our inner peace. Handling criticism also involves developing a thick skin. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or ignoring feedback, but rather building resilience. It's about understanding that not all criticism is about you. Sometimes people criticize others because of their own insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. By recognizing this, you can depersonalize the criticism and not let it affect your self-worth. Remember that you have the power to choose your response. This freedom is central to Stoic philosophy. Just because someone criticizes you doesn't mean you have to accept their judgment as the final word on your character or abilities. You can choose to take what's useful and discard the rest. This selective approach to handling criticism allows you to grow without being weighed down by negativity. Engaging in constructive dialogue is another effective way to handle criticism. If the criticism comes from someone close, like a friend or family member, consider discussing it with them. Ask for clarification and express your perspective calmly. This not only helps resolve any misunderstandings, but also strengthens your relationships by fostering open communication and mutual respect. Handling criticism effectively can inspire others. When people see you responding to criticism with grace, composure, and a willingness to learn, they are likely to admire your strength and follow your example. You become a role model for resilience and emotional intelligence, embodying the principles of Stoicism in everyday life. Epictetus taught that what frightens and dismays us is not the events themselves, but how we think about them. This means that when someone offends you, it's not their words or actions that hurt you, but rather your perception and reaction to those words or actions. In other words, the power lies within you to decide how much an offense will impact you. This principle is liberating because it shifts the control from external circumstances to your internal world. Transforming offense isn't about denying your emotion. It's natural to feel hurt or angry when you're offended. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge these emotions without being controlled by them. It's about creating a space between the stimulus and your response. In that space lies your power to choose a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. One practical way to transform offense is through cognitive reframing. When you feel offended, try to look at the situation from a different angle. Instead of focusing on the negative, ask yourself what you can learn from this experience. This doesn't mean you have to agree with the offender, but it allows you to extract any potential lessons and grow from them. For instance, if a friend criticizes your lifestyle choices, instead of taking it personally, consider if there's any merit to their observation, or if it's an opportunity to affirm your commitment to your values. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of empathy. When someone offends you, try to put yourself in their shoes. What might they be going through that caused them to act this way? This perspective can help you respond with compassion rather than anger. It's not about excusing bad behavior, but about understanding the human condition and recognizing that everyone has their struggles. Another powerful technique is to practice forgiveness. Holding on to offense and resentment only harms you. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the offense, but rather releasing its hold on you. It's a gift you give yourself, allowing you to move forward with peace and clarity. Stoic philosophy also teaches us that true strength lies in embracing and overcoming difficulties, not in avoiding them. Every offense you encounter is an opportunity to build your resilience. Just like a muscle grows stronger through resistance, your character strengthens through facing and transforming offenses. The more you practice this, the more naturally it will come, until you find that external events have little power to disturb your inner peace. Remember that transforming offense is a practice. It's not something you perfect overnight. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal growth. Each time you choose to transform an offense, you're reinforcing a positive habit and making it easier to respond constructively in the future. Epictetus pointed out a profound truth. We are the ones who assign meaning to events, thus creating fear and shame within our souls. This means that these emotions are not inherent in the situations themselves, but are products of our interpretations. Once we understand this, we can begin to change the way we perceive and respond to fear and shame. Fear often arises from the unknown or the anticipation of negative outcomes. It's a natural response meant to protect us, but it can become debilitating if left unchecked. Stoicism teaches us to face our fears head-on. Instead of avoiding what scares us, we should examine it closely. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Break it down into specific concerns. Often, you'll find that the fear loses its power when you analyze it rationally. For instance, imagine you're afraid of public speaking. This fear might stem from the worry of being judged or making mistakes. But by breaking it down, you realize that the audience is not there to judge you harshly. They are there to listen and learn. And even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Every speaker stumbles at some point. By facing this fear and preparing thoroughly, you gradually build confidence. Each time you speak, you chip away at the fear, and it becomes more manageable. Shame is a deep-seated emotion that can make us feel unworthy or flawed. It often stems from societal pressures or past mistakes. Stoicism teaches us to confront shame with courage and self-compassion. It's about accepting our imperfections and learning from our experiences rather than being defined by them. Consider a situation where you feel ashamed of a past mistake. Instead of allowing this shame to fester, face it directly. Reflect on the mistake and understand why it happened. What can you learn from it? How can you use this experience to grow and become a better person? This process of reflection and learning helps you transform shame into a valuable lesson, rather than a source of self-loathing. Another powerful tool in overcoming shame is self-forgiveness. Holding on to shame keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-criticism. By forgiving ourselves, we release the heavy burden and allow ourselves to move forward. This doesn't mean excusing our mistakes, but acknowledging them, learning from them, and then letting them go. It's a crucial step in healing and personal growth. To practice overcoming fear and shame, start with small steps. Expose yourself gradually to situations that trigger these emotions. Use each experience as a learning opportunity. Over time, you'll build resilience and find that what once terrified or shamed you no longer has the same hold over you. This gradual exposure and reflection help to desensitize you to fear and shame, making them more manageable. Stoicism also teaches the importance of community and support. Share your fears and feelings of shame with trusted friends or mentors. Opening up about these emotions can be liberating and provide you with new perspectives and encouragement. Often, you'll find that others have faced similar challenges and can offer valuable insights and support. Epictetus suggested that by envisioning potential difficulties along our path, we prepare ourselves to face them calmly and thoughtfully. This isn't about being pessimistic or expecting the worst. It's about being realistic and ready for anything. When you anticipate obstacles, you're not caught off guard when they appear. Instead, you've already considered possible solutions and ways to manage your reactions. One practical way to anticipate obstacles is through a technique called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This involves taking time to visualize potential challenges and consider how you would respond to them. For example, before a big meeting, you might think about what could go wrong, technical difficulties, tough questions, or even personal nervousness. By envisioning these scenarios, you can plan your responses and reduce the impact of surprise. This practice isn't about dwelling on negativity, but about building mental resilience. When you've mentally rehearsed handling difficulties, you're less likely to be thrown off balance when they occur. You become more adaptable and capable of maintaining your composure, which is a hallmark of Stoic philosophy. Anticipating obstacles also means being flexible and open to change. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and rigid expectations can lead to disappointment and stress. By anticipating that things may not go as expected, you can remain flexible and adjust your plans as needed. This adaptability is crucial for navigating life's uncertainties with grace and effectiveness. Another important aspect of anticipating obstacles is maintaining a balanced perspective. While it's useful to consider potential difficulties, it's equally important to recognize your strengths and resources. Acknowledge the skills, knowledge, and support systems you have that can help you overcome challenges. This balanced approach ensures that you're prepared without becoming overly anxious or negative. Anticipating obstacles helps build patience and perseverance. When you know that challenges are inevitable, you develop a long-term mindset that values persistence over immediate success. You become more patient with the process and more resilient in the face of setbacks. This endurance is a key component of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of steadfastness and inner strength. Engaging in regular reflection can also enhance your ability to anticipate obstacles. Take time to review past experiences and identify patterns. What challenges did you face, and how did you overcome them? What strategies worked, and what could you improve? By learning from your experiences, you can better prepare for future obstacles and refine your approach to problem solving. Incorporating mindfulness practices can further strengthen your ability to anticipate and manage obstacles. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware, allowing you to recognize potential challenges early and respond thoughtfully. It enhances your emotional regulation, ensuring that you remain calm and centered, even in stressful situations. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet profound statement underscores the essence of inner strength. Our true power lies not in altering external circumstances, but in mastering our inner responses. When faced with adversity, whether it's severe criticism from a trusted friend or an unexpected setback, we have the freedom to choose our response. This choice defines our character and shapes our life. Inner strength is cultivated through self-awareness and deliberate practice. It starts with recognizing your emotions without letting them overwhelm you. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather observing them and understanding their roots. When you become aware of your emotional triggers, you can better manage your reactions. This self-awareness is the first step toward building inner strength. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. This distinction is crucial for maintaining inner peace. We cannot control other people's actions or opinions, but we can control our attitudes and responses. By focusing on what we can control, we conserve our energy and reduce unnecessary stress. This mindset shift is empowering and helps us stay grounded in the face of external turbulence. Forgiveness is another powerful aspect of inner strength. Holding on to grudges and resentment drains our energy and clouds our judgment. Just as Stoicism teaches us to control our reactions, it also encourages us to practice forgiveness. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather releasing its hold on us. By forgiving, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions and create space for healing and growth. Building inner strength also involves developing resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and setbacks are inevitable. The key is to view these setbacks as opportunities to strengthen your character. Every challenge you face is a chance to practice resilience and perseverance. Over time, this practice fortifies your inner strength, making you more adaptable and less susceptible to life's fluctuations. Stoicism encourages us to seek strength not just in ourselves, but also in our community and faith. Surround yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals who uplift and inspire you. Engage in conversations that challenge and expand your thinking. If you have a spiritual practice, draw on it for strength and guidance. These external sources of support can reinforce your inner strength and provide a sense of belonging and purpose. Practicing gratitude is another effective way to cultivate inner strength. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a positive mindset even in difficult times. There is always something to be grateful for. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating these positives, you strengthen your emotional resilience and maintain a balanced perspective. Inner strength is also about embracing vulnerability. Acknowledging your fears and insecurities doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. By confronting these vulnerabilities with courage and compassion, you transform them into sources of strength. This self-acceptance is a vital component of inner strength, allowing you to navigate life with authenticity and confidence. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging your feelings but not letting them dictate your action. It's about creating a space between stimulus and response, a moment to reflect and choose the most appropriate course of action. This practice of pausing and reflecting is powerful and can transform how you interact with the world. Consider the example of driving in heavy traffic. Someone cuts you off, and your immediate reaction might be anger or even road rage. Instead of acting on this impulse, Stoicism encourages you to pause and consider your response. Will honking or shouting make the situation better? Probably not. By choosing to remain calm, you maintain control over your emotions and actions, leading to a more peaceful and less stressful experience. Another aspect of restraining actions is the ability to delay gratification. In our fast-paced world, we're often tempted to seek immediate rewards and avoid discomfort. However, Stoicism teaches us the value of patience and perseverance. By delaying gratification and working towards long-term goals, we cultivate discipline and resilience. This principle also applies to how we communicate with others. In moments of heated discussion or conflict, it's easy to let emotions take over and say things we might later regret. Stoicism teaches us to practice restraint in our words. Before speaking, consider the impact of your words. Are they constructive? Do they reflect your values? By speaking mindfully and with intention, you can build stronger, more respectful relationships. Practicing self-restraint requires self-awareness and discipline. It's about being conscious of your impulses and actively choosing to control them. This might involve setting personal boundaries, practicing mindfulness, or developing new habits that support your goals. For instance, if you tend to procrastinate, create a structured schedule that helps you stay focused and productive. If you struggle with anger, practice relaxation techniques that help you remain calm in stressful situations. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of acting according to reason rather than impulse. This means making decisions based on thoughtful consideration of the situation and its consequences. Imagine you're faced with a significant decision at work. Instead of making a hasty choice, take the time to gather information, weigh the pros and cons, and consider how your decision aligns with your values and goals. This reasoned approach leads to better outcomes and a greater sense of control. Restraining actions is not about becoming passive or avoiding action altogether. It's about being deliberate and intentional in our choices. It's about understanding that our actions have consequences and taking responsibility for them. By practicing self-restraint, we become more effective in achieving our goals and maintaining our inner peace. Engaging in regular reflection can also enhance your ability to restrain actions. Take time each day to review your behavior and consider where you could have exercised more restraint. What triggered your impulses? How could you respond differently in the future? This ongoing self-assessment helps you build greater self-awareness and strengthens your commitment to acting with intention. Another practical approach to restraining actions is to develop a daily mindfulness practice. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware, allowing you to recognize impulsive urges and choose more thoughtful responses. Whether through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or mindful observation, incorporating mindfulness into your routine can significantly enhance your self-control. Acceptance is the first step towards effective action. When we resist reality, we waste energy and create unnecessary suffering. For example, if you lose your job, it's natural to feel upset and worried about the future. But by accepting the situation, you can focus on what you can do next, updating your resume, networking, or exploring new career opportunities. This proactive mindset enables you to navigate the challenge more effectively and reduces the emotional toll of the experience. One practical way to cultivate acceptance is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you stay present and aware, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you develop the ability to accept each moment as it comes, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. This acceptance creates a foundation of inner peace and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that acceptance is not about giving up, but about finding strength in adversity. It's about understanding that every event, no matter how challenging, offers an opportunity for growth and learning. When faced with difficulties, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into stepping stones for personal development. Acceptance also involves letting go of perfectionism. Many of us strive for perfection in our careers, relationships, and personal achievement. However, this relentless pursuit can lead to stress and dissatisfaction. By accepting that perfection is unattainable, we can appreciate our efforts and progress. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but recognizing that imperfections are part of the human experience. Embracing our flaws and setbacks with compassion allows us to live more fully and authentically. Gratitude is another powerful tool for cultivating acceptance. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude helps us see the good in our lives, even amidst challenges. By regularly practicing gratitude, we reinforce a positive outlook and strengthen our ability to accept and appreciate life as it is. Acceptance also extends to our relationships. We often have expectations of how others should behave, leading to frustration and disappointment when they don't meet these expectations. By accepting people as they are, with all their strengths and weaknesses, we can build more harmonious and fulfilling relationships. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but understanding that everyone has their own journey and challenges. By practicing empathy and compassion, we create a space for authentic connections and mutual growth. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers emphasized that living according to nature means recognizing our place in the world and acting in accordance with our rational and social nature. At its core, this principle is about living authentically and in harmony with the universe. Living according to nature starts with self-awareness. It requires a deep understanding of who we are and what our true nature is. This involves introspection and reflection on our values, strengths, and purpose. By understanding our natural tendencies and inclinations, we can make choices that align with our true selves rather than conforming to societal expectations or external pressures. This principle also means recognizing and accepting the natural cycles of life. Just as the seasons change, our lives go through different phases: growth, stability, decline, and renewal. By accepting these cycles, we can navigate life's transitions with greater ease and grace. Living according to nature involves cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are the guiding principles that help us navigate life's challenges and make ethical decisions. Wisdom allows us to see things clearly and make informed choices. Courage gives us the strength to face adversity and take action. Justice ensures that we act fairly and honorably in our relationships. Temperance helps us maintain balance and self-control. By cultivating these virtues, we align our actions with our natural, rational nature. Stoicism also teaches us to live in harmony with others. As social beings, we are naturally connected to those around us. Living according to nature means recognizing our interdependence and contributing to the well-being of our community. This involves practicing empathy, compassion, and cooperation. When we help others and build positive relationships, we fulfill our social nature and create a more harmonious and supportive environment. Another aspect of living according to nature is embracing simplicity and focusing on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions and materialistic pursuits, it's easy to lose sight of our true priorities. Stoicism encourages us to strip away the excess and focus on our core values and essential needs. This might involve simplifying our lifestyle, prioritizing meaningful relationships, and dedicating time to personal growth and self-care. By doing so, we create space for what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of acceptance and gratitude in living according to nature. Accepting the natural flow of life means letting go of the need to control every outcome and trusting in the process. It's about being grateful for what we have and appreciating the present moment. Gratitude helps us recognize the abundance in our lives and fosters a positive mindset. By focusing on the good, we cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. Living according to nature requires us to be mindful of our impact on the environment. As part of the natural world, we have a responsibility to care for the planet and preserve its resources. This involves making sustainable choices, reducing waste, and respecting the delicate balance of ecosystems. By living in an environmentally conscious way, we honor our connection to nature and contribute to the well-being of future generations. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives can enhance our ability to live according to nature. Mindfulness helps us stay present and aware, allowing us to make intentional choices that align with our true selves. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or mindful observation, these practices help us connect with our inner nature and the world around us. They encourage us to slow down, reflect, and act with purpose. Our greatest power lies in the ability to choose our response to life's challenges. Picture this. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, faced with unending turmoil, found peace not in control, but in acceptance. He taught that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This ancient wisdom of Stoicism isn't just historical trivia. It's a transformative tool we can all use today. In this video, we'll uncover the art of letting things happen, exploring how embracing the flow of life rather than forcing outcomes can lead to profound peace and fulfillment. Get ready to dive into the timeless teachings of Stoicism and discover how to navigate life's unpredictability with grace and strength. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Don't skip any part of the video, as this journey towards inner calm and resilience might just change your life. In Stoicism, there's a strong emphasis on distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. This starts with our thoughts. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our minds. By focusing on our thoughts, we can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and composure. It's like building a mental armor that shields us from unnecessary worries and negative influences. When we understand this, we can start to see our thoughts not just as fleeting moments in our minds, but as powerful tools that shape our reality. Consider the impact of a single negative thought. It can spiral into a cascade of negativity, affecting our mood, our behavior, and even our health. On the other hand, a positive thought can inspire us, motivate us, and lead to actions that improve our lives and the lives of those around us. The Stoics were masters of this mental discipline. They practiced techniques like reflection and journaling to keep their thoughts in check. For example, the evening reflection was a common practice where they would spend time at the end of each day contemplating their thoughts and actions, identifying what went well and what could be improved. This practice allowed them to maintain a clear and focused mind, ready to face the next day with renewed strength. Moreover, the Stoics taught us that thoughts are not just abstract concepts, but tangible forces that can direct the course of our lives. By becoming aware of our thoughts and consciously guiding them, we can transform our experiences. This is not about suppressing negative thoughts, but rather about understanding them, challenging them, and ultimately transforming them into positive actions. It's a skill that takes practice, but can lead to profound changes in how we perceive and interact with the world. To put it into perspective, imagine two people facing the same challenging situation. One person is consumed by negative thoughts, believing that nothing they do will make a difference. They feel paralyzed and defeated. The other person, guided by positive thoughts, sees the challenge as an opportunity for growth. They think about past successes and believe in their ability to overcome the obstacle. This person is more likely to take proactive steps and ultimately succeed. The difference lies in their thoughts. Realizing the importance of thought is about recognizing that our inner dialogue shapes our reality. It's about taking control of our mental landscape and cultivating thoughts that lead to positive actions and outcomes. As Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics have shown us, this is a path to true happiness and fulfillment. So, start today by paying attention to your thoughts. Challenge the negative ones and nurture the positive ones. This simple yet profound shift can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic, provides invaluable insights on this. He advises, "Here is a rule to remember in future. When anything tempts you to feel bitter, not, 'This is misfortune,' but, 'To bear this worthily is good fortune.'" This quote encapsulates the Stoic approach to transforming thoughts, changing our perspective on challenges and adversity. At its core, transforming your thoughts involves recognizing that our spontaneous thoughts often come with value judgments that can be misleading and harmful. These judgments are immediate and automatic, labeling experiences as good or bad, fun or boring, successful or failing. The problem is that these judgments are rarely based on the full picture and are often clouded by our emotions and biases. The Stoics teach us that our thoughts are not shaped by reality, but by our perception of it. By changing our perception, we can change our thoughts and consequently our lives. Consider how often we let a single negative thought shape our entire day. If you wake up and immediately think, "Today is going to be awful," that thought sets the tone for everything that follows. It colors your interactions, your decisions, and your overall mood. But what if you could catch that thought and transform it? Instead of, "Today is going to be awful," you could think, "Today might have challenges, but I can handle them." This simple shift can change your entire outlook and experience of the day. One of the Stoic practices for transforming thoughts is to question and challenge them. When you have a negative thought, don't just accept it as true. Reflect on it. Ask yourself if the thought is reasonable, if it is based on facts, or if it is influenced by temporary emotions. For example, after a tough meeting at work, you might think, "I'm terrible at my job." But is that thought reasonable? Was it just one difficult meeting out of many successful ones? Are you letting one experience overshadow your overall competence and achievements? Another powerful Stoic technique is reframing. Reframing involves taking a negative thought and finding a more constructive way to look at it. For instance, if you think, "I failed, and there's no point in trying again," you can reframe it to, "Failure is an opportunity to learn and improve. I can try again with more wisdom." This technique helps you see setbacks as part of the growth process rather than as final judgments on your abilities. The practice of gratitude also plays a significant role in transforming thoughts. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from negative aspects to positive ones. When you start feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts, take a moment to list things you're grateful for. This practice can instantly change your mood and perspective. helping you see the abundance and opportunities in your life rather than the challenges and deficiencies. Furthermore, Stoics emphasize the importance of living in accordance with nature and understanding our role within the larger context of the world. This broader perspective can help transform our thoughts by reminding us that we are part of something greater and that our individual experiences, while significant, are just one piece of the larger puzzle. It encourages us to accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can control, our thoughts and action. In practical terms, transforming your thoughts might also involve regular journaling, a practice that many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, engaged in. Writing down your thoughts allows you to examine them objectively, understand their origins, and decide how you want to address them. It's a way to declutter your mind and gain clarity. Learning to transform your thoughts is about recognizing the power of perception, questioning and reframing negative thoughts, practicing gratitude, and understanding your place in the larger scheme of things. By adopting these Stoic principles, you can cultivate a mindset that not only endures, but thrives in the face of life's challenges. This shift in thinking is not just a mental exercise, but a profound way to reshape your entire approach to life, leading to greater peace, resilience, and fulfillment. The term premeditatio malorum translates to premeditation of evils or anticipation of adversity, and it was a technique regularly employed by Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics to foster resilience and mental fortitude. Imagine starting each day by acknowledging that things might not go as planned. Marcus Aurelius would wake up and remind himself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." This might sound pessimistic, but it served a crucial purpose. It prepared him mentally for the inevitable frustrations and challenges of daily life. By expecting difficulties, he could approach them with calmness and equanimity when they arose, rather than being caught off guard. The idea behind premeditatio malorum is not to dwell on negative outcomes, but to mentally rehearse how you would handle them. This practice builds psychological resilience. When we visualize potential setbacks and plan our responses, we reduce the shock and emotional impact when those setbacks occur. It's similar to how athletes visualize their performance before a game. They prepare for various scenarios, which enhances their actual performance. Consider a simple analogy. Think of premeditatio malorum as a mental fire drill. Just as practicing a fire drill prepares you to act swiftly and calmly in an actual emergency, mentally rehearsing how you would handle difficulties prepares you to face real-life challenges with greater composure and effectiveness. It's about building a mental muscle that allows you to remain steady and focused under pressure. This technique is deeply rooted in the Stoic understanding of what is within our control and what is not. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. By anticipating potential problems and deciding in advance how to respond, we take proactive control over our emotional and mental states. This aligns with the Stoic goal of achieving a tranquil mind, undisturbed by external chaos. Premeditatio malorum can be applied to various aspects of life. For instance, before a significant meeting or presentation, you might consider the possible challenges. What if the technology fails? What if you forget your main points? By thinking through these scenarios and planning your responses, you can approach the event with greater confidence and less anxiety. You've already faced these challenges in your mind, so they're less intimidating in reality. Moreover, this practice can enhance our gratitude. When we contemplate potential misfortunes, we often realize how much we take for granted. This reflection can deepen our appreciation for what we have and foster a greater sense of gratitude for the present moment. It shifts our focus from what could go wrong to what is currently going right, balancing our perspective. A practical way to incorporate premeditatio malorum into your daily routine is through journaling. Spend a few minutes each morning writing down potential challenges you might face that day and how you would ideally respond to them. This simple exercise can set a tone of preparedness and calmness for the rest of the day. Additionally, it's beneficial to periodically reflect on past adversities and how you handled them. This reflection can reveal patterns in your responses, highlight areas for improvement, and reinforce your resilience. By recognizing that you have successfully navigated challenges before, you build confidence in your ability to handle future difficulties. Practicing premeditio malorum is about embracing the reality that life is unpredictable and often challenging. By mentally preparing for these challenges, we can face them with greater strength and serenity. This Stoic practice helps us build resilience, maintain control over our emotional responses, and foster a deeper appreciation for the present. It's a powerful tool for anyone looking to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and wisdom. So, the next time you anticipate a tough day, remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and prepare your mind for the journey ahead. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this when he said, "Give yourself a gift, the present moment." This statement is a call to embrace the here and now, to fully immerse ourselves in the current moment, free from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. The Stoics believe that the present moment is all we truly have. The past is unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. Dwelling too much on either robs us of the peace and clarity that come from being fully engaged with the present. When we focus on the present, we can better appreciate the world around us, the people we interact with, and the tasks we undertake. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the here and now, rather than postponing happiness for some uncertain future. Consider the way we often get lost in our thoughts about what has already happened or what might happen. We replay past mistakes or anticipate future problems, and this mental chatter keeps us from truly experiencing life. For example, how often have you been in a conversation but found yourself thinking about what you need to do later or regretting something you said earlier? This robs you of the ability to connect genuinely with the person in front of you and to fully appreciate the interaction. Living in the present also means letting go of the need to control everything. The Stoics taught that we should accept what is outside our control and focus on what we can influence, our own thoughts and actions. This acceptance can be incredibly liberating. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we reduce our stress and anxiety, allowing ourselves to be more at peace with whatever comes our way. It's about finding serenity in the midst of chaos by anchoring ourselves in the present moment. One practical way to live in the present is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. This can be done through simple exercises like focusing on your breath, observing your surroundings, or engaging in a task with full attention. By practicing mindfulness, we train our minds to return to the present whenever they start to wander. This can greatly enhance our ability to stay focused and calm, even in stressful situations. The practice of mindfulness has been shown to have numerous benefits, including reduced stress, improved emotional regulation, and increased overall well-being. When we are mindful, we are better able to handle life's challenges with grace and resilience. We become more attuned to our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to respond rather than react impulsively. Another way to cultivate living in the present is through gratitude. Taking time each day to reflect on what we are grateful for helps shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. This practice can bring a sense of abundance and contentment. When we appreciate the small moments of joy and beauty in our daily lives, we anchor ourselves more firmly in the present. Moreover, living in the present encourages us to fully engage with our activities, no matter how mundane they may seem. The Stoics believed in doing every task, no matter how small, with excellence and attention. This means being fully present in whatever you are doing, whether it's washing the dishes, working on a project, or spending time with loved ones. By giving our full attention to our current activity, we can find satisfaction and purpose in every moment. It's also important to recognize the impact of technology on our ability to live in the present. Our constant connectivity can pull us out of the moment as we check emails, social media, and messages. Setting boundaries with technology and creating moments of disconnection can help us reclaim our presence. This might mean having device-free times, such as during meals or before bed, to fully engage with our surroundings and the people we are with. Living in the present is about embracing the here and now, letting go of past regrets and future anxieties, and focusing on what we can control, our thoughts and actions. By practicing mindfulness, gratitude, and fully engaging with our activities, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, and resilience. As Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics have shown us, the present moment is a precious gift, and learning to live in it can transform our lives. Marcus Aurelius, despite his responsibilities as a Roman emperor, took time each day to reflect on the simple privilege of being alive. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This profound sense of gratitude is not just about acknowledging the good things in life, but about fostering a deeper appreciation for every moment and experience. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, creating a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and overlook the small joys and blessings that surround us. By consciously practicing gratitude, we train our minds to see the positives, even in challenging situations. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but rather recognizing that there is always something to be thankful for, even in the midst of adversity. One effective way to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. These can be anything from significant achievements to small everyday pleasures, like a beautiful sunset or a kind gesture from a friend. This simple exercise helps to build a habit of looking for the good in each day, reinforcing a positive outlook and fostering a sense of contentment. Expressing gratitude to others is another powerful practice. Take the time to thank the people around you, your family, friends, colleagues, even strangers who have shown you kindness. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your awareness of the interconnectedness of your life with others. Gratitude has a ripple effect. When we express it, we often inspire others to do the same, creating a more positive and supportive environment. In the context of Stoicism, gratitude also involves accepting and appreciating the present moment as it is, without longing for what is not. This is encapsulated in the Stoic concept of amor fati, or love of fate. It's about embracing all aspects of life, including the challenges and setbacks, as part of our journey. By viewing everything that happens to us as an opportunity for growth and learning, we can cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for the entirety of our experience. Gratitude can also be a powerful antidote to negative emotions like envy and resentment. When we focus on what we have and appreciate it fully, we are less likely to feel envious of others. Envy arises from a sense of lack, but gratitude reminds us of our abundance. Similarly, resentment often stems from unmet expectations and perceived injustices. Practicing gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us to let go of these negative feelings and embrace a more positive and forgiving outlook. Moreover, gratitude has numerous psychological and physical benefits. Research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience better sleep, lower stress levels, and improved mental health. Gratitude enhances our overall well-being by promoting a positive mindset and reducing the impact of negative emotions. It helps us build resilience, enabling us to bounce back from setbacks more effectively. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine doesn't require drastic changes. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each morning to reflect on what you are thankful for, or ending your day with a gratitude meditation. This practice aligns with the Stoic tradition of reflection and mindfulness, encouraging us to live with intention and awareness. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way to enrich our lives and align with the principles of Stoicism. By focusing on what we have, expressing appreciation to others, and embracing all aspects of our experiences, we can cultivate a mindset of abundance and contentment. Gratitude helps us navigate life's challenges with grace, build stronger relationships, and enhance our overall well-being. Imagine standing on the edge of your greatest potential, but feeling something holding you back. That's self-doubt, quietly eroding your dreams and confidence. Real confidence isn't just a feeling, it's a skill, a mindset that shapes your path in life. The level of success you achieve is strongly tied to how much you believe in yourself. Think about how often raw talent and potential are held back by fear and uncertainty. So, think happiness without fear and uncertainty. Today, we're going to explore practical, powerful tips designed to help you build your self-confidence. These aren't just ideas. They're real, actionable steps that apply to everyday life, created to guide you toward becoming your best self. Remember, building self-confidence isn't about changing who you are. It's about removing the doubts that hide the strong, capable person you've always been. Before we get started, if you find this helpful, please like the video to help spread the message. Now, let's jump in. Number 1, understand yourself. Discovering who you are isn't just a journey, it's the foundation of regaining lost self-confidence. Take a moment and think about what drives your actions. Are they fueled by genuine beliefs, or are you just mirroring what's expected of you? The essence of Stoicism, as taught by thinkers like Epictetus, lies in this introspection. It's not just about identifying your strengths and weaknesses, but understanding the core of your being. This deep self-awareness is the secret to authentic self-confidence. It's a transformation that begins within, by aligning your actions with your true self. Today, life throws challenges our way, and our immediate reactions often define us. When faced with these moments, pause and reflect. Are your responses a true reflection of your beliefs, or are they knee-jerk reactions to external pressures? Building self-confidence is about more than just being brave. It's about making choices that resonate with who you really are. This authenticity breeds confidence that resonates higher when you act in harmony with your true self. Each decision reinforces your self-belief, nurturing a confidence that's deeply rooted and unwavering. Number 2, focus on what really matters and ignore the rest. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. It's a beacon for modern souls swimming in a sea of distractions. Think about the last time you truly felt in control. Was it when your mind was jumping from social media alerts to the latest news, or when you were deeply immersed in something that really mattered to you? Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, wisely said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it. Your focus shapes your reality." It's a powerful tool, yet so many of us let it rust in the hustle of everyday life. Regaining focus means identifying what steals it. Maybe it's the constant buzz of your phone, the desire to please everyone, or worries that cloud your thoughts. Recognize these thieves and consciously limit their power over you. Set boundaries, like tech-free hours, or practice the art of saying no to demands that drain your energy. Strengthen your focus like a muscle. Meditation isn't just trendy. It's a time-tested method to anchor your thoughts in the present. Start your day by asking, "What's the one thing I need to achieve today?" This clarity cuts through the noise, making your actions more intentional and your path more confident. Remember, focusing is more than a skill. It's your gateway to inner peace and self-assurance. By channeling your attention to what's crucial, you're not just ticking off tasks, you're building a fortress of calm in a chaotic world. This is the Stoic way. Understanding that the power to focus isn't just about getting things done, but about crafting a life of purpose and confidence. Number 3, understand that some things can't be changed. Have you ever felt like you're pushing against an immovable wall? It's exhausting and honestly a bit pointless. That's the thing about life. Some aspects simply won't budge, no matter how hard we try. But here's a powerful twist from Stoicism. It's not about how hard you push, but knowing what to push and what to let be. This is the crux of regaining your lost confidence. It's not about surrender, it's about smart strategy. Let's break it down. We all have moments when we feel helpless, like we're trapped in a whirlwind of things we can't control. This is where modern Stoic wisdom kicks in. Ask yourself, am I trying to control the uncontrollable? Here's a reality check. We can't dictate others' actions, reverse time, or foresee the future. But here's your power play. Focus on what you can influence. Your reactions, your decisions, and your actions. These are your true dominions. By shifting your energy here, you become stronger, more adaptable, and most importantly, more self-assured. It's like honing your skills in a game where you know the rules and play your best moves. Consider this. Accepting the unchangeable isn't about passive resignation. It's about strategic focus. When you stop wrestling with the past or future, you're free to excel in the present. Learn to treat yourself with kindness, especially when things don't go your way. Everyone stumbles. That's not just okay, it's essential for growth. This mindset doesn't just make you more confident, it embeds a sense of calm wisdom in your daily life. You're not just growing in confidence, you're evolving into a wiser, more serene version of yourself, living a life that's richer and more meaningful. Remember, true confidence isn't about dominating every aspect of life. It's about mastering your responses and focusing on your strengths. You're not just surviving the storm, you're learning to dance in the rain. Number 4, grow your humility. Embracing humility is like unlocking a secret door to confidence. It's not about dimming your light. Rather, it's about recognizing there are millions of other lights shining around you. We often trip over our own pride, mistaking it for confidence. But here's a truth that has stood the test of time, stretching back to the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Epictetus. True knowledge begins with the admission of ignorance. The humility is your foundation for growth. Imagine humility as soil, rich with potential. Just as a plant doesn't shoot up overnight, neither does genuine confidence. It's a daily practice. Listen more, talk less, and understand that your point of view isn't the only one. When you succeed, remember the contributions of others. There's strength in realizing that everyone has something to teach you. Our world today often values appearances over authenticity, but beneath this veneer, the craving for real connections is palpable. Humility opens doors to these connections. By acknowledging that you're part of a larger whole, you're not downplaying your worth, you're enhancing it. Every person you meet carries a universe of experience different from yours. Learning from them doesn't make you smaller. It makes your world bigger. And in this expanded world, your confidence finds its true north. When you credit others for their successes and see their value, you're not just showing respect, you're weaving a rich tapestry of perspectives. It's not about who's right, it's about being open to the endless learning that life offers. This approach not only deepens your relationships, but also solidifies your confidence on a foundation of mutual respect and continuous learning. The journey of humility is also an inward one. It involves the courage to look at yourself honestly, to acknowledge your mistakes, and to take steps to correct them. This self-awareness is a powerful tool for growth. It's about being grateful for your life, your loved ones, and the opportunities that come your way. Gratitude keeps you grounded and connected, reminding you that you're part of something bigger. As you cultivate humility, you don't just grow in confidence, you become a beacon for others, inspiring respect and admiration. Remember, a wise 21st century Stoic sage knows that humility isn't a sign of weakness, but a badge of strength, a testament to your willingness to learn, to grow, and to connect deeply with the world around you. As we continue exploring this topic, if anything has resonated with you so far, I encourage you to share your thoughts below. A brief comment like, "I believe in myself," is a wonderful way for us to connect. And if you're looking forward to more videos like this, hitting the subscribe button is the way to go. Now, let's further unravel the nuances of our discussion. Number 5, build up your toughness. Toughness isn't a gift at birth. It's a skill honed through life's fires. Stoicism teaches this art beautifully, turning life's harshest lessons into our greatest strengths. Think of toughness as your shield in life's battles, not just to withstand blows, but to emerge victorious, learning and growing with each challenge. As the wise Seneca said, it's not the events but our reaction to them that truly defines us. Part 2 contest completed. Every stumble, every faltering step is a chance to rise stronger. When life throws curveballs, instead of shrinking back, ask yourself, what lesson lies here? This shift in perspective transforms each obstacle into a stepping stone, edging you closer to wisdom and resilience. Resilience is the heart of Stoic toughness. It's about facing challenges with courage, not avoidance or fear. Each time you overcome a hurdle or confront a fear, you're not just surviving, you're evolving into a more confident and capable individual. Remember, resilience isn't just about enduring the storm, it's about learning to dance in the rain, whether it's tackling a long overdue task or navigating through personal loss. Approach each situation with a stoic mindset. Focus not on the event, but on how you handle it. Face life's trials with confidence, knowing that each one is an opportunity for growth and fortification. True stoic toughness involves a blend of acceptance, long-term vision, gratitude, and community. Understand that life's path isn't always smooth or fair, but it's traversable with strength and grace. This acceptance isn't surrender, but a recognition that challenges are integral to life and that we're well equipped to handle them. Toughness also means looking beyond today's troubles, considering how current struggles will shape your future resilience, and cultivate gratitude. It's a beacon of hope in tough times, transforming your perspective on challenges into opportunities for growth. And don't underestimate the power of community. Surrounding yourself with supportive people not only uplifts you, but also reinforces the idea that you're not facing life's battles alone. This stoic journey of building toughness is a lifelong commitment to growth and learning. Every experience, joyous or challenging, is a lesson in understanding yourself and the world around you. Embrace life's fluctuations with the trust that you have the strength and wisdom to thrive, no matter the obstacle. In essence, stoic toughness is a profound roadmap for navigating life. It teaches us to face difficulties head-on, learn from them, and harness them to build our confidence and resilience. By embracing stoicism, we don't just overcome challenges, we transform them into catalysts for becoming wiser, stronger, and more self-assured. Number 6. Know and live by your personal beliefs. Have you ever felt like you're drifting, unsure of where you stand in the swirling currents of life? It's a common feeling, but there's a powerful anchor available to you: your personal beliefs. These aren't just idle thoughts, they are the bedrock of genuine, enduring confidence. Think of your most cherished values: honesty, loyalty, bravery, kindness. These aren't just words. They're signposts guiding your journey. Living in harmony with these values isn't a casual affair. It demands daily commitment, a steady hand steering the ship of your life through both calm and stormy seas. Now, let's talk about integrity. A word as strong as steel. Living with integrity means your actions are in perfect sync with your beliefs. Yes, it's challenging, especially when the world tries to sway you from your path. But here's where the transformation occurs. Every time you choose to be true to yourself over the easier path, your self-esteem skyrockets. You're not just saying your beliefs matter, you're proving it through action. This isn't about grand gestures, it's found in the everyday choices. If honesty is your mantra, then let truth be your language, even when lies seem easier. If kindness is your heart's call, extend it in silent, unseen acts. These small steps forge the path to becoming who you aspire to be. Remember, perfection isn't the goal here. It's about recognizing your missteps and growing from them, turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Stay here. Understand that living by your values isn't just a personal victory, it's a beacon for others. When you steadfastly adhere to your principles, you become a living example of authenticity and trustworthiness. This alignment between belief and action doesn't just bring inner peace, it earns the respect and trust of those around you. More than that, it means holding yourself accountable. Own your actions and their consequences, good or bad. Regular self-reflection is key. Take time to ponder your choices, ensuring they align with your core values. This isn't a one-time exercise, but a lifelong journey of growth and self-improvement. In embracing your beliefs and living them out loud, you become more than just confident. You become a guidepost, a source of inspiration, and a testament to the unshakable power of living a life true to oneself. Number 7. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude, often whispered in the winds of Stoicism, is a mighty tool in regaining lost self-confidence. It's not just about the grand gestures of life, but also embracing the everyday joys and victories. Picture this. You wake up, and instead of letting worries cloud your thoughts, you pause. You find 3 simple things to be grateful for. Maybe it's the chirping of birds outside your window, the comfort of your favorite t-shirt, or even the text message from a friend. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's a strategy. By recognizing the good, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present, cultivating a mindset that sees the glass as half full, not half empty. But gratitude isn't a solo journey. It involves acknowledging the roles others play in your life. Take a moment to appreciate the barista who perfects your morning coffee, or the coworker who always lends an ear. Saying thank you might seem simple, yet it builds bridges and forges connections. It's about seeing the value in the support and kindness around you, creating a network of positivity. And when life throws challenges your way, gratitude teaches you to see them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Each difficulty becomes a chance to learn, grow, and understand the intricate tapestry of life's experiences. This mindset doesn't just build resilience, it deepens your appreciation for the complex journey of life. As you weave gratitude into your daily life, remember it's a skill honed through practice and patience. It's about finding beauty in the mundane and learning from the struggles. With each day of gratitude, you're not only rebuilding your self-confidence, you're sculpting a life filled with appreciation and understanding. This journey of gratitude is like nurturing a garden. It requires attention, care, and time, but the blooms that follow are vibrant with self-assurance, resilience, and a deep-seated understanding of life's value. So start today. Find your 3 gratitudes and watch as your world transforms, one thank you at a time. Number 8. Embrace learning and curiosity. Do you ever feel lost in the maze of self-doubt? It's a common trap, one that saps your self-confidence. But there's a light in that maze, a beacon to guide you out, learning and curiosity. This isn't about cramming facts from textbooks. It's about a hunger to know more, about the vast, diverse world, and crucially, about yourself. Remember Epictetus, the Stoic sage. He said, "Only the educated are free." He wasn't just talking about formal education. He meant the liberation that comes from daily learning, be it a quirky fact, a new skill, or seeing the world through someone else's eyes. This journey of continuous learning does more than just fill your head with knowledge. It keeps your mind sharp, engaged, and adaptable. Think of it as mental gymnastics, where each new piece of knowledge is a new move, making you more flexible and prepared for life's unexpected flips and turns. And it's not just about you. By understanding different viewpoints, you're not just expanding your mind, you're growing your heart. Talking to people with lives and beliefs different from your own doesn't just teach you new things. It builds empathy, respect, and a genuine appreciation for the colorful tapestry of human experience. So, how do you start? Make a personal pledge. Learn something new every day. It doesn't have to be grand. Even the smallest pebble of knowledge can start an avalanche of understanding. Read a book from an author whose background is different from yours. Strike up a conversation with a stranger. Or simply observe the world with a curious eye. This path of learning and curiosity isn't just a route to regaining your confidence. It's a lifelong adventure that makes you a more informed, empathetic, and adaptable human being. And in this ever-changing world, those are the true markers of wisdom and strength. It's a harsh reality. But some people in our lives take pleasure in causing harm and chaos. Think about it. You could be sharing moments, trusting someone, only to discover they are the very source of your turmoil. Today, we dive deep into a topic that's as fascinating as it is frightening. Recognizing the signs you're dealing with an evil person. Whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member, these individuals can be masters of deception. hiding their true nature behind charm and charisma. Today, we're not just exploring this dark side of human behavior out of curiosity. Understanding these signs can be life-changing. The Stoics believed in the power of perception and the importance of living a life guided by reason and virtue. By identifying and understanding these toxic traits, we can protect our peace of mind and cultivate healthier relationships, staying true to the principles of wisdom and self-control. Stay with us as we uncover 5 telltale signs of an evil person. By the end of this video, you'll not only be better equipped to spot these behaviors, but also learn practical ways to safeguard your mental health and well-being. And if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Please don't skip any part of the video. You won't want to miss our special bonus section, where I'll share an effective strategy for setting firm boundaries with these individuals. Let's embark on this journey of self-awareness and resilience together. Number 1, charming and charismatic at first. When we talk about people who seem charming and charismatic at first, it's important to remember that appearances can be deceiving. These individuals often have a way of lighting up a room, making everyone around them feel special and valued. They know exactly what to say to make you feel like you've just made a new best friend. At first glance, they seem like the perfect person, witty, engaging, and seemingly interested in your life. It's easy to get swept up in their charm, thinking you've found someone truly special. However, the Stoics teach us to look beyond the surface and seek the truth through rational thought and observation. Over time, you might start to notice little cracks in their facade. Maybe they always need to be the center of attention, overshadowing others in social settings. They might talk over you, interrupt you, or even subtly put you down in front of others. These aren't just quirks or signs of an extroverted personality. They're red flags. The Stoics would advise us to observe these behaviors with a clear mind, unclouded by the initial excitement of their charisma. Imagine being at a party where this person is the life of the event, telling jokes and captivating the crowd. At first, it feels great to be in their orbit, but as the evening progresses, you realize they're dominating every conversation, making everything about themselves. When you try to share something about your life, they quickly redirect the topic back to them. This is where the principle of apatheia, a state of being undisturbed by external things, comes in handy. By staying emotionally balanced, you can see through their charming act and recognize the self-centered nature underneath. It's also crucial to pay attention to how they react when things don't go their way. A person who is genuinely kind and caring will handle disappointments and disagreements with grace and understanding. But someone who is merely playing a role to gain your trust might quickly become angry or defensive. They might lash out or try to manipulate the situation to regain control. According to Stoic wisdom, such reactions are clear indicators of a lack of virtuous character. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to be wary of those who display signs of anger and manipulation, as these are not the traits of a rational and virtuous person. The key here is to take your time and trust your instincts. The Stoics believed in the power of observation and the importance of not rushing to judgment based on first impressions. Epictetus taught that we should carefully evaluate the character of those we allow into our inner circle. So, if someone seems too good to be true, give yourself the space to observe their actions over time. Notice how they treat others, especially when they think no one is watching. True character is revealed in how a person behaves when they aren't trying to impress anyone. Remember, not everyone who seems charming and charismatic has good intentions. Some people use their charm as a tool for manipulation. By staying grounded and mindful, you can protect yourself from being taken in by a superficial facade. Stay true to the principles of wisdom and discernment, and you'll be better equipped to navigate these complex social interactions. Another crucial sign to watch out for: a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what allows us to connect deeply with those around us, to offer support when it's needed, and to create meaningful relationships. However, there are individuals out there who seem to completely lack this essential human trait. They don't care about how their actions or words affect others, and this can have a devastating impact on those around them. The Stoics believed in the importance of compassion and understanding as fundamental virtues. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the interconnectedness of humanity and the need to consider the well-being of others as part of our own well-being. So, when we encounter someone who shows a blatant disregard for the feelings of others, it's a serious red flag. Imagine you're sharing something deeply personal with a friend, hoping for some comfort or understanding. Instead of showing any genuine concern, they brush off your feelings or even mock your vulnerability. This lack of empathy can make you feel isolated and misunderstood. It's not just about them not being there for you in tough times. It's also about them failing to share in your joy or celebrate your successes. A person who lacks empathy won't cheer for your achievements. They might even undermine them or take credit themselves. This behavior is not just limited to personal relationships. Consider a boss who pushes their employees to the brink, showing no concern for their well-being. They might demand long hours without fair compensation, ignore requests for time off, or publicly criticize employees in a way that's meant to humiliate rather than constructively guide. This creates a toxic work environment where people feel undervalued and stressed. The Stoics would advise us to maintain our inner peace and integrity in such situations, recognizing that the lack of empathy in others is a reflection of their character, not ours. Furthermore, a lack of empathy can lead to more sinister behaviors. People who cannot empathize with others may engage in actions that are outright cruel or without any sense of guilt or remorse. They might lie, cheat, or even inflict physical harm without a second thought about the pain they're causing. The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized the importance of kindness and justice, teaching that our actions should always reflect our inner virtue. When someone lacks empathy, they're fundamentally disconnected from these values. Lack of empathy is also evident in smaller, everyday interactions. For example, you might notice that someone constantly interrupts conversations to talk about themselves, shows little interest in what others have to say, or fails to offer help when it's clearly needed. These might seem like minor annoyances at first, but they add up to a pattern of behavior that reveals a deeper issue. The Stoics would remind us to be observant and discerning, understanding that these small signs are indicative of a person's true character. If you find yourself dealing with someone who consistently lacks empathy, it's important to set boundaries to protect your own mental and emotional health. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining our own well-being and not allowing the negativity of others to disturb our peace. You have the right to distance yourself from those who drain your energy and bring you down. Another major sign of an evil person is manipulation. Manipulation occurs when someone uses deceit or cunning tactics to control or influence others to get what they want. It's a subtle, often insidious behavior that can be incredibly damaging to those on the receiving end. Manipulators are skilled at twisting situations, making you question your reality and bending your will to suit their needs. This can leave you feeling confused, powerless, and unsure of your own judgments. Let's think about manipulation from a Stoic perspective. The Stoics valued clarity of thought and the ability to see things as they truly are. They taught that our perceptions should be grounded in reality and that we should remain steadfast in our principles, no matter the external pressures. When someone manipulates you, they are attempting to cloud your perception and distort reality, making it difficult for you to stay true to these Stoic ideals. The common form of manipulation is gaslighting, where the manipulator tries to make you doubt your own memory, perception, or sanity. They might deny that certain events happened, or they might twist your words and actions to make you feel at fault. For example, let's say you confront a friend about something hurtful they said. Instead of acknowledging it, they might turn the tables, accusing you of being overly sensitive or misremembering the situation. This can erode your confidence and make you reliant on the manipulator's version of reality. Manipulators are also adept at playing the victim. They might guilt-trip you into doing things you don't want to do by making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. You might have a friend who constantly complains about their problems, expecting you to drop everything to help them, yet they are never there for you in return. They might say things like, "If you were really my friend, you'd do this for me," making you feel obligated to comply. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, emphasize the importance of understanding what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control others' actions or emotions, only our response to them. Consider how a manipulator might use flattery or charm to get their way. At first, this can feel great. They might shower you with compliments and make you feel special. But over time, you might notice that their praise comes with strings attached. They might compliment you when they want something from you, or when they need you to do something for them. This can make you feel like you owe them, or that you need to live up to their expectations to maintain their approval. The Stoics would remind us that true virtue and self-worth come from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. Manipulation can also take the form of isolation. A manipulative person might try to cut you off from your friends and family, making you more dependent on them. They might say things like, "Your friends don't really care about you," or "Your family doesn't understand you like I do." This tactic makes it easier for them to control you because you become more reliant on them for support and validation. The Stoics believed in maintaining strong, supportive relationships with others, recognizing that we are social beings who thrive in community. Isolation goes against these principles as it weakens our support network and makes us more vulnerable to manipulation. Financial manipulation is another tactic used by evil people. They might borrow money, never repay it, or they might control your finances to limit your independence. For instance, a partner might insist on managing all the money in the relationship, making you ask for permission to spend anything. This control over finances can make it difficult for you to leave the relationship or assert your independence. The Stoics would encourage us to seek self-sufficiency and independence, ensuring that we are not unduly influenced or controlled by others. Recognizing manipulation for what it is can be challenging, especially when you care about the person involved. The Stoics teach us to be vigilant and discerning, to see things clearly and to act with integrity. If you suspect someone is manipulating you, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Are they consistently prioritizing their needs over yours? Do they make you feel guilty or unsure of yourself? Are they trying to control aspects of your life or isolate you from others? It's important to set firm boundaries with manipulators and stand your ground. Communicate clearly and assertively about what you will and will not tolerate. Remember, you have the right to your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control how others behave, we can control how we respond. By maintaining our inner strength and clarity, we can protect ourselves from the harmful effects of manipulation and stay true to our values. One of the most glaring signs of an evil person: controlling behavior. This goes beyond mere preferences or quirks. It's about someone who seeks to dominate every aspect of your life, leaving little room for your own autonomy and decisions. Controlling individuals often disguise their behavior as concern or care, but underneath, it's about power and control. The Stoics, who valued personal freedom and self-control, would see this behavior as fundamentally opposed to living a virtuous life. Controlling behavior can manifest in many ways. For instance, you might have a friend who insists on always choosing where you go and what you do together. While it might seem harmless at first, over time you start to realize that your preferences and opinions are consistently ignored or overridden. They might say things like, "I know what's best for us," or "You'll have more fun if you just listen to me." This isn't about mutual decision-making. It's about one person exerting their will over another. In relationships, controlling behavior can become even more dangerous. A partner might monitor your whereabouts, demand constant updates on your activities, and even dictate who you can and cannot see. They might go through your phone, check your messages, or insist on knowing all your passwords. This kind of surveillance and micromanagement can make you feel trapped and anxious, constantly walking on eggshells to avoid conflict. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasize the importance of maintaining your own inner freedom and autonomy, regardless of external pressures. Control can also come in the form of financial manipulation. A controlling partner or family member might take charge of all financial decisions, doling out money as they see fit, and keeping you financially dependent on them. They might say, "I handle the money because you're not good with finances." Or, "It's easier if I just take care of everything." This can strip you of your financial independence and make it difficult to leave the relationship or assert your own choices. The Stoics believed in self-sufficiency and managing your own resources wisely, viewing financial control as a form of enslavement that must be resisted. Another way controlling behavior shows up is through isolation. A controlling person might try to cut you off from friends and family, claiming that they're the only one who truly understands or cares about you. They might criticize your loved ones, saying things like, "Your friends don't really care about you," or "Your family is toxic." Over time, you might find yourself increasingly isolated, relying solely on the controlling person for support and companionship. The Stoics recognize the importance of community and supportive relationships, seeing isolation as detrimental to both personal growth and well-being. Controlling individuals also often use threats and intimidation to maintain their power. They might threaten to leave you, harm themselves, or even hurt you if you don't comply with their demands. This creates an environment of fear and anxiety, making it difficult to think clearly or make decisions that are best for you. The Stoics, especially Seneca, taught that we should face our fears and not allow others to intimidate us into submission. True courage and wisdom lie in standing firm against such threats and reclaiming our own power. It's important to understand that controlling behavior is about more than just wanting things done a certain way. It's about fundamentally undermining your ability to make your own choices and live your own life. The Stoics would advise us to recognize these behaviors for what they are: an attack on our autonomy and a violation of our personal freedom. By staying true to our values and maintaining our inner strength, we can resist the influence of controlling individuals and reclaim our right to live freely. If you find yourself dealing with someone who exhibits controlling behavior, it's crucial to set firm boundaries and assert your independence. Communicate clearly about your needs and limits, and don't be afraid to seek support from others who understand your situation. Remember, the Stoics teach us that we cannot control others, but we can control our own reactions and decisions. By staying grounded in our principles and valuing our own autonomy, we can protect ourselves from the harmful effects of controlling behavior and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. Another unmistakable sign of an evil person is pathological lying. This goes beyond the occasional white lie that most people tell. Pathological liars deceive constantly, often without any apparent reason. They fabricate stories, manipulate facts, and distort reality to suit their own needs or to gain an advantage over others. This behavior can be incredibly damaging to relationships, eroding trust and creating a web of deceit that's difficult to untangle. The Stoics valued truth and integrity above all else. They believed that a virtuous life was grounded in honesty and that deceit was a fundamental betrayal of one's character. Marcus Aurelius emphasized living in accordance with nature, which means aligning our actions with truth and reason. When someone lies pathologically, they are living in direct opposition to these principles, creating a false reality that benefits only themselves. Pathological lying can take many forms. It might start with small, seemingly harmless lies, like embellishing a story to make themselves look better or more interesting. Over time, these lies can escalate, covering up mistakes or wrongdoings and manipulating others to achieve their goals. A pathological liar might claim to have accomplished things they haven't, falsely take credit for others' work, or make up stories about their past to gain sympathy or admiration. This constant dishonesty creates a distorted view of reality where you can never be sure what's true and what's fabricated. Consider how a pathological liar might operate in a workplace. They might lie about their qualifications, exaggerate their contributions to projects, or spread false rumors about colleagues to sabotage them. This can create a toxic environment where trust is undermined, and people are constantly on edge, unsure of who to believe. The Stoics would advise us to remain steadfast in our own integrity, not allowing ourselves to be swayed by the deceitful actions of others. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, and not be disturbed by the dishonesty of those around us. In personal relationships, pathological lying can be even more destructive. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who constantly lies about their whereabouts, their past, or their feelings. This behavior can make you feel insecure, anxious, and constantly questioning your own perceptions. You might find yourself doubting your memory or second-guessing your instincts, which is exactly what the liar wants. They thrive on creating confusion and instability, keeping you off balance so they can maintain control. The Stoics would remind us to trust our own judgment and not be swayed by the manipulations of others. Seneca taught that true peace comes from within, and that we should not allow the deceit of others to disturb our inner tranquility. One of the most insidious aspects of pathological lying is that it's often difficult to detect at first. Pathological liars can be incredibly convincing, telling their lies with such confidence and detail that it's hard not to believe them. They might mix truth with lies, making it even more challenging to discern what's real. This is where the Stoic principle of vigilance comes into play. We must remain observant and critical, not taking things at face value, but instead seeking the truth through careful consideration and evidence. When you catch someone in a lie, pay attention to how they react. Do they become defensive or aggressive? Do they try to turn the tables and blame you? Or do they offer a plausible explanation that seems to make sense, even if it's just another layer of deceit? A genuine person will admit to their mistakes and strive to correct them, while a pathological liar will double down on their falsehoods, weaving an even more intricate web of lies. The Stoics would counsel us to remain calm and rational in the face of such behavior, recognizing it for what it is and not allowing it to provoke us. It's also important to consider the long-term impact of pathological lying. Over time, it can erode the very foundation of trust that any relationship is built upon. Once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. You might find yourself constantly suspicious, always wondering if you're being lied to again. This can lead to a toxic cycle of mistrust and resentment. The Stoics believed in the importance of building strong, honest relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. When dealing with a pathological liar, you must decide whether it's worth trying to rebuild that trust, or whether it's healthier to distance yourself from their toxic influence. If you find yourself entangled with a pathological liar, it's crucial to set firm boundaries and protect your own mental and emotional well-being. The Stoics would advise us to remain true to our own values and principles, not allowing ourselves to be dragged down by the deceit of others. Be clear about what you will and will not tolerate. And don't be afraid to walk away from a relationship or situation that is built on lies. Remember, your peace of mind and integrity are more important than maintaining a connection with someone who consistently deceives you. Now, how can you protect yourself from these harmful behaviors while maintaining your peace and integrity? Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial skills you can develop when dealing with difficult or toxic people. Boundaries are about defining what you will and will not accept in your relationships, and they are essential for protecting your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The Stoics, who emphasized the importance of personal integrity and inner peace, would see boundary setting as a fundamental practice for maintaining a virtuous and tranquil life. First and foremost, it's important to recognize that setting boundaries is not about being harsh or unkind. It's about respecting yourself and ensuring that others respect you as well. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-respect and living in harmony with our true nature. By setting clear boundaries, you are not only protecting yourself, but also fostering healthier interactions with others. When it comes to setting boundaries, clarity is key. You need to be specific about what behaviors you will not tolerate and communicate this clearly and assertively. For example, if you have a friend who frequently belittles you or puts you down, you might say, "I appreciate our friendship, but I won't tolerate being spoken to in a disrespectful manner. If this continues, I will have to distance myself." This approach is direct and leaves no room for misinterpretation. According to Stoic principles, this kind of clear communication helps maintain order and respect in relationships. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to state your boundaries once and expect others to adhere to them without reminders. You must consistently enforce your boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasized the importance of discipline and perseverance. By consistently upholding your boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and teach others how to treat you. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, it's a clear sign that they do not respect you or your limits, and it may be necessary to reassess the relationship. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. As relationships evolve, your boundaries may need to be adjusted. For instance, in a work environment, you might need to set boundaries around your availability and workload to prevent burnout. You could say to a colleague or supervisor, "I am happy to help with this project, but I cannot take on additional tasks beyond my current responsibilities." The Stoics would advise us to balance our duties and not overextend ourselves to the detriment of our well-being. One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is dealing with the pushback or resistance you might encounter. People who are used to getting their way, especially those with controlling or manipulative tendencies, may not take kindly to your newfound assertiveness. They might react with anger, guilt-tripping, or even attempts to undermine your confidence. The Stoics teach us to remain calm and steadfast in the face of such challenges. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of maintaining our composure and not being swayed by the negative emotions of others. When you encounter resistance, stay firm and remind yourself that your boundaries are necessary for your well-being. In some cases, setting boundaries might mean making difficult decisions, such as distancing yourself from certain individuals or even ending relationships that are toxic or harmful. This can be a painful process, but it's essential for preserving your mental and emotional health. The Stoics would remind us that our primary responsibility is to our own virtue and well-being. Seneca often spoke about the importance of choosing our associations wisely, recognizing that the company we keep can significantly impact our character and happiness. By distancing yourself from those who consistently violate your boundaries, you are making a powerful statement about your self-worth and commitment to living a virtuous life. It's also helpful to seek support from others when setting boundaries. This could mean talking to trusted friends, family members, or a therapist about your experiences and getting their input and encouragement. Sharing your struggles and successes with boundary setting can provide you with valuable perspective and strengthen your resolve. The Stoics valued community and the support of like-minded individuals. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of humanity and the importance of mutual support. By leaning on your support network, you can find the strength to uphold your boundaries and maintain your well-being. In addition, practicing self-care is crucial when setting and maintaining boundaries. This includes taking time for yourself, engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, and nurturing your physical and mental health. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-care as a foundation for a virtuous life. Epictetus, for example, emphasized the need to care for our own well-being so that we can be of service to others and fulfill our responsibilities effectively. By prioritizing self-care, you reinforce the message that your well-being is important and deserving of protection. Ever felt like life is pulling you in a million different directions, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to find your footing? Well, you're not alone. Right now, across the globe, millions are feeling overwhelmed, not by a lack of dreams, but by the chaos of everyday demands that cloud their true potential. Today, we're going to strip back the layers of noise and rediscover clarity through the lens of Stoicism, a philosophy that has empowered thinkers and leaders for centuries to face life's turbulence with calm and resilience. Now, if you find yourself nodding along, thinking, yes, that's exactly what I need, then I'm glad you're here. And if you appreciate what we're doing, showing a little love by hitting that subscribe button won't cost a thing, but will mean the world to us. Stick with me through this journey today, because every single moment of this video is packed with insights that could just be the answer you've been looking for. Together, we'll explore timeless Stoic strategies to reset, restart, and refocus. Because sometimes, all you need to change your life is to view it from a new perspective. Let's dive in. Let's talk about a concept that might seem simple on the surface, but is incredibly transformative once you dive deep. Reset. Specifically, I want to focus on the idea of clearing the clutter. It's a powerful metaphor, isn't it? Just saying it out loud feels like a breath of fresh air. Now, when you think of clutter, you might picture a desk buried under piles of papers, or a closet stuffed to the brim with clothes you haven't worn in years. But I'm not just talking about physical clutter. I'm talking about the mental and emotional clutter that piles up in our lives, often without us even noticing. I'm talking about the mental and emotional clutter that piles up in our lives, often without us even noticing. Here's a personal story for you. A while back, I found myself feeling unusually stressed and anxious. I was meeting deadlines, hitting my targets, doing all the right things. But something felt off. My mind felt cluttered, like an attic filled with old boxes. Boxes of worries, doubts, and old grudges I couldn't seem to throw out. I needed a reset, not just superficially but deeply. The Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the importance of simplifying life to see clearly. They believed in discarding not just unnecessary physical possessions, but also unnecessary thoughts and emotions that complicate our lives. This Stoic principle became my guiding light. I began by asking myself tough questions, the kind that make you pause and really think. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What fears are just old habits in disguise? This process of questioning is like sorting through that attic. Each item, each thought, each emotion needs to be picked up, examined, and then, most importantly, decided upon. Do I keep it? Do I let it go? This is where the real clearing starts. It's about recognizing that some worries are just noise, distractions from what truly matters. They don't need to be in my space, in my head, or in my heart. Resetting is about making space for new growth, new experiences. It's like preparing a garden at the start of spring. You clear out the dead leaves and weeds, not because the work is fun, but because you know it's necessary. For new life to thrive, the Stoics remind us that every new day brings with it a chance to start afresh, to realign with our values and our goals. They teach us that freedom comes not from external achievements, but from internal balance and peace. As I embarked on this journey of clearing out, I started small. I tackled one box at a time. One week I focused on letting go of a grudge. Another week it was about dialing back the self-doubt, turning down the volume on that critical inner voice that said, "You can't do this." Each act of letting go felt like a weight lifting off my shoulders. Now, let me ask you, what's cluttering your mind? What's taking up space in your life that no longer serves a positive purpose? Maybe it's resentment over a past failure, or anxiety about an uncertain future. Maybe it's the unrealistic standards you set for yourself, or the toxic relationships that drain your energy. Imagine if you started clearing that clutter. Imagine the freedom, the lightness, the room to breathe and grow. It's not just about removing the bad, but about making space for the good, for something better. This isn't about denying your past experiences, but about choosing not to let them define or limit you anymore. And here's the thing about resetting. It's not a one-time event. It's a continuous process, a habit you develop. Each day is a new opportunity to clear away what doesn't belong and reinforce what does. It's about building resilience, about learning to bounce back faster and stronger because you're not weighed down by unnecessary baggage. So as you listen to this, think about what you can reset in your life today. It doesn't have to be big. Start small. Maybe it's deciding to forgive someone, to forgive yourself, or to set aside a worry that's been nagging at you. Remember, each piece of clutter you clear makes room for something invaluable. Peace of mind, clarity, and the strength to face whatever comes next. As the Stoics would say, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Every challenge, every bit of clutter we clear, shapes us, molds us into the people we are meant to be. So let's reset, not just once, but as a way of life. Let's make it count. Because in the clarity of a decluttered mind and heart lies the power to craft a truly fulfilling life. Now, let's tackle the concept of restart. This is where the real grit of life comes into play. It's about picking yourself up after you've been knocked down, dusting yourself off, and stepping back into the ring. It's a test of courage, a true measure of your resilience. And let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is for everyone. We all face moments when the easiest thing to do would be to give up. But here's where Stoic wisdom shines through, teaching us that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. There was a time in my life when I hit rock bottom. I had faced a major setback in my career, and everything I had worked so hard for seemed to crumble right before my eyes. It felt like standing amidst the ruins of a once glorious castle that I had built, brick by brick. The temptation to just sit in the rubble was overwhelming. But here's the kicker. The Stoics say, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And that's what I did. I made my obstacle my way forward. Restarting isn't about brushing off your failures as if they're nothing. No, it's about acknowledging them, learning from them. It's about looking your failures in the eye and saying, you can't keep me down. Because the truth is, every failure is ripe with potential to teach us something invaluable, something that success never could. I asked myself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? The answers to those questions were the first steps I took toward my restart. I started by setting small, manageable goals. It wasn't about reclaiming all my lost ground in a day. Instead, it was about moving forward one small step at a time. Each step, no matter how small, was a victory. It was a defiance of failure, a testament to my resilience. And with each step, my journey forward gathered momentum. But let's be real, restarting can be daunting. You're not always going to have clear direction. That's where the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, comes in. It's about visualizing the worst-case scenarios and preparing for them, not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. When you've already faced your fears in your mind, taking action in the real world becomes less daunting. It's like rehearsing for a play. When the curtains lift, you're ready to perform. And here's a thought for you. How often do you hold back because the fear of failure paralyzes you? Imagine what you could achieve if you viewed each failure as a step up, not a stumble. Picture yourself as a phoenix, rising from the ashes, reborn and renewed. That's the essence of restarting. It's not about never failing. It's about never letting failure have the last word. During my restart, I also learned the importance of community. Sharing my struggles, being vulnerable, it connected me with others who were on their own paths of restarting. We supported each other, cheered for each small win, and pushed through setbacks together. Remember, you're not alone. Reach out, connect, share your journey. The strength you gain from others can be your greatest asset when restarting. Stoicism also teaches us the value of amor fati, a love of fate. It means embracing everything that happens to you, including your failures. It's about saying, this is exactly what I needed, because sometimes the lessons we need most can only be learned the hard way. Embracing your journey with all its ups and downs makes restarting not just a necessity, but a privilege. So, if you're standing at the crossroads, unsure if you can face starting over, let me leave you with this. Every restart is a declaration of hope. It's a commitment to yourself that you are not defined by your past, but by the courage you show in moving forward. And every time you choose to restart, you are taking another step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Don't wait for the perfect moment to restart. Create it. Make today the day you pick up the pieces and craft a new beginning. Your next chapter is waiting to be written, and it starts with a single decision: to rise, restart, and embrace the journey ahead. Remember, in the words of Marcus Aurelius, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. So, think like a Stoic, restart like a warrior, and transform your life into the masterpiece it's meant to be. Now let's talk about a crucial step in our journey of self-reinvention: refocusing. Refocusing is about keeping your eyes on the prize, about aligning your daily actions with your ultimate goals. It's easy to get sidetracked in this fast-paced world, to lose sight of what we truly want. The noise of everyday life can drown out our deepest desires and true intentions. But here's where the art of refocusing comes into play, guiding us back to our path, to what really matters. There was a time in my life when I felt I was drifting. My goals seemed blurry and my actions didn't align with what I deeply aspired to achieve. I was busy, sure, but not productive in the way I wanted to be. It was like sailing a boat without a compass. I was moving, but not necessarily forward. That's when I stumbled upon a Stoic principle that changed everything: the concept of prosocia, or attentive focus. This ancient idea taught me the importance of mindfulness and intentionality in every action. Refocusing means being deliberate about what you let into your life. It's about pruning the unnecessary, the trivial, the distractions that sap your energy and scatter your focus. It's about asking yourself, is what I'm doing right now serving my ultimate purpose? If not, it might be time to let it go. Let's get practical here. Start by defining your top priorities. What are the 3 things that, if you achieve them, would make the biggest impact on your life? Write them down. Keep them somewhere you can see every day. And each day, do at least one thing that moves you closer to one of those goals. It's about small, consistent actions. As the Stoics believed, it's not the grand gestures but the daily decisions that shape our destinies. Refocusing also involves setting boundaries, sturdy, visible lines that protect your time and energy. It means saying no to unnecessary commitments that do not align with your goals. It means being okay with disappointing others, to not disappoint yourself. Stoicism teaches us that our time and our focus are among the few things we can control. Use them wisely. Here's something to ponder. How often do you find yourself doing something just because it's what you've always done? Maybe it's a job that no longer fulfills you, a habit that no longer serves you, or a relationship that drains more than it gives. Imagine the clarity and freedom you'd feel if you started saying yes only to things that align with your deeper values and goals. That's what refocusing is all about. During my own refocusing phase, I realized how scattered my efforts had been. I was trying to chase too many goals, which meant I wasn't making meaningful progress in any area. I took a step back and reevaluated my path. I started to cut out the clutter, not just in my physical space, but in my commitments, in my social media use, in how I spent my leisure time. Every piece of clutter cleared was like removing a blindfold. My goals came back into sharp focus. Refocusing is not a one-time fix. It's a continuous process. Life changes, goals evolve, and our focus needs to shift accordingly. It's like recalibrating a compass when you find out you've been slightly off course. It's not a failure. It's a necessary part of navigating. And if you're wondering if it's too late to refocus, let me remind you of a Stoic truth. It's never too late to be who you might have been. Every moment is a chance to turn things around, to align yourself with your aspirations. Your past decisions do not have to dictate your future. The power to change your focus lies in your hands, right here, right now. So take a moment today to ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Is it what matters most to me? If not, what can I change? Remember, refocusing is about more than just achieving goals. It's about crafting a life that's truly worth living, a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Refocus now, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Let every step you take be purposeful. Let every decision be intentional, and watch as the pieces of the puzzle start to fit together, revealing a picture of a life that's not only successful, but also deeply fulfilling. As we wrap up our journey today, let's talk about maintaining momentum. It's one thing to start anew, to reset your compass, restart your engine, or refocus your lens, but it's another to keep that energy flowing, to keep pushing forward even when the initial spark has dimmed. This, my friends, is where the true challenge lies, and also where the most rewarding part of our journey begins. Remember, every great story you've ever heard, every inspiring journey you've admired, didn't just happen overnight. They were built on consistency, perseverance, and a steadfast commitment to the end goal. And here's where the Stoic principle of endurance, or what they call hippomone, comes into play. It's about enduring the long march, sticking to your path even when it's steep and fraught with obstacles. Think about the last time you started something new. Maybe it was a fitness regimen, a business venture, or a personal project. The beginning was likely exciting, filled with energy and grand visions of success. But as time went on, perhaps the enthusiasm waned. Maybe obstacles appeared that you hadn't anticipated. This is natural. It's a part of any worthwhile endeavor. But the key to success? It isn't just starting strong. It's about continuing strong. So how do we maintain this momentum? First, by setting small, incremental goals. Break down your big, audacious goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Each small victory keeps your spirits high and your focus sharp. It's like climbing a mountain, one step at a time, one breath at a time, and before you know it, you'll look back and marvel at how high you've climbed. Another vital tool for maintaining momentum is reflection. Regularly take stock of your progress. What have you learned? What would you do differently? What can you celebrate? Reflecting isn't just about patting yourself on the back. It's about learning and adjusting your strategy as you go. It's about being honest with yourself and addressing the gaps without judgment. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you paused to appreciate how far you've come? Often, we are our own harshest critics, and in the rush to achieve more, we forget to acknowledge our achievements. Yet, Stoicism teaches us the importance of gratitude, not just for others, but for our own efforts and progress. Gratitude not only brightens our outlook, but also fortifies our will to persevere. And speaking of perseverance, remember to lean on your support network. Share your journey, seek advice, and offer support to others in return. Momentum is easier to maintain when you know you're not alone, when you have people cheering for you, waiting at the finish line and running alongside you. In a world that never stops moving, where every moment is filled with noise, demands, and relentless pressure, finding true peace might seem like a distant dream. But what if I told you that tranquility isn't found in escaping your life, but in changing how you live it? This isn't about retreat. It's about transformation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy designed for modern chaos, teaches us not just to survive, but to thrive amidst life's storms by mastering the art of control. Control not over others, but over ourselves. Welcome to Stoic Journal, where ancient wisdom meets modern challenges. If you're ready to embrace Stoic strategies that will empower you to sail through life's turbulent waters with grace and resilience, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the core of Stoicism, exploring how this timeless wisdom can be more than just a philosophy. It can be a practical toolkit for living a richer, more resilient life. So, if you're looking to turn challenges into opportunities and cultivate a steadfast serenity that lasts, stay tuned. Together, we'll unlock the secrets of Stoicism and discover how to harness its power every single day. Join me in embracing a life where every obstacle becomes a stepping stone to personal growth and fulfillment. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support this journey into Stoicism, a simple favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. And don't skip any part of the video. We've packed it with insights that unfold step by step, each one building on the last to transform your understanding and your life. When we dive into the teachings of Stoicism, one of the most powerful and life-changing principles we encounter is the concept of control. It's fascinating how this ancient philosophy, developed over 2 millennia ago, provides us with a tool so essential for our modern hectic lives. Stoicism teaches us a simple yet profound truth. Our true power lies not in extending our reach over the external world, but in mastering our own inner responses. This concept isn't about gaining control over others or the circumstances we find ourselves in. Rather, it's about understanding what is truly within our grasp, our thoughts, our reactions, and our actions. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves feeling frustrated or upset over things we simply cannot change? Maybe it's the weather ruining our weekend plans or a friend running late to a meetup. Our natural inclination might be to let these external events disturb our peace. However, Stoicism invites us to shift our focus. Instead of ruminating on the uncontrollable, Stoicism encourages us to ask, what can I control in this situation? The answer is almost always related to our internal state, our mindset, our readiness to adapt, and our decision on how to respond. This principle of focusing on what we can control helps us build resilience against the chaos of everyday life. By anchoring our energy on our internal state, we create a kind of mental fortress that external circumstances cannot breach. For instance, when facing a traffic jam that makes us late for an important appointment, instead of stewing in anger and frustration, Stoicism teaches us to use that time to reflect, plan our day, or simply enjoy some music. This change in perspective doesn't alter the traffic, but it dramatically transforms our experience of it. Moreover, understanding control is about accepting the limits of our influence. This acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather a strategic redirection of our efforts toward areas where we can make a real impact. It's like being the captain of a ship in a storm. While you can't control the storm, you have the authority over how you steer the ship and manage the crew. This metaphor encapsulates the Stoic approach, managing our ship, ourselves, with wisdom and integrity, regardless of the storm and challenges around us. Practicing this Stoic principle also means preparing ourselves for various outcomes. It teaches us to remain composed, not only when things go our way, but also when they don't. This level of detachment from outcomes is incredibly freeing. It allows us to engage in our activities with full effort and commitment, but without the heavy burden of needing certain outcomes for our happiness. This is what Stoics mean when they talk about selective indifference. Caring deeply about our actions and efforts, while being indifferent to the fluctuations of fortune. The Stoic understanding of control is a powerful antidote to stress and anxiety. It grounds us in the present and focuses us on the actionable, empowering us to live with intention and tranquility. By internalizing this lesson, we don't just cope with life's unpredictabilities, we thrive amidst them. We become proactive participants in our lives, choosing responses that align with our deepest values, rather than being reactive to every external stimulus. Embracing the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control doesn't happen overnight. It requires mindfulness, self-reflection, and regular practice. But the rewards, increased serenity, effectiveness, and a profound sense of empowerment, are well worth the effort. As we continue to explore Stoicism, let's keep this foundational principle in mind. It's not just about reading and understanding Stoic philosophy, it's about living it, one controlled, thoughtful response at a time. In Stoic philosophy, virtue is not just a moral compass, but the very core of a fulfilling life. It's interesting how Stoicism aligns the pursuit of virtue with the pursuit of happiness, a concept that might seem counterintuitive in today's fast-paced world, where happiness is often equated with pleasure or success. But Stoics view it differently. For them, happiness isn't found in external achievements or material possessions, but in living a life of virtue. So, what exactly does virtue mean in Stoicism? It encompasses four main qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each of these virtues plays a crucial role in how we navigate our lives. Wisdom involves the insightful understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Courage is about facing life's challenges with resilience and bravery. Justice relates to treating others with fairness and kindness. Temperance is the art of self-control and moderation. Together, these virtues form the Stoic ideal of a well-lived life. The Stoic pursuit of happiness through virtue is fundamentally different from the fleeting pleasures we often chase. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness is a state of inner peace and satisfaction that comes from knowing you've lived well according to your own principles. This kind of happiness is stable and enduring. It doesn't evaporate when external conditions change, because it's based not on what happens to us, but on how we choose to respond. This approach to happiness is incredibly empowering. It suggests that regardless of our external circumstances, we have the capacity to cultivate happiness within ourselves by developing virtuous qualities. Think about the implications of that. It means that our emotional and psychological well-being doesn't have to be at the mercy of our surroundings or situations, which are often beyond our control. Instead, happiness becomes something we actively build through our choices and actions. Practicing Stoic virtue also means striving to be better each day. It's about personal growth and self-improvement. For instance, when we practice temperance, we learn to resist impulses that might lead to excess or harm. When we practice justice, we contribute positively to our communities, promoting a sense of goodwill and support. Each act of virtue not only enhances our own lives, but also touches the lives of others around us, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Moreover, the Stoic link between virtue and happiness teaches us about the importance of aligning our actions with our values. In a world where we are often pulled in different directions by conflicting desires and pressures, Stoicism offers a clear directive: focus on living virtuously. This simplifies decision-making and reduces the stress and anxiety associated with trying to please everyone or achieve perfection. It guides us to focus on being good, rather than merely feeling good or looking good. Embracing Stoic virtues isn't about suppressing emotions or denying pleasure. It's about finding a deeper, more meaningful kind of happiness that sustains us through life's ups and downs. It challenges us to look beyond immediate gratification and consider the long-term effects of our actions on our character and well-being. In practice, living a life of Stoic virtue can be challenging. It requires constant vigilance and effort. It asks us to be mindful of our actions and choices, to reflect regularly on our behavior, and to strive continually towards embodying the Stoic ideals. But the payoff is immense. As we align more closely with these virtues, we find that our lives are richer, our relationships are stronger, and our souls are calmer. So, as we journey through the teachings of Stoicism, let's keep in mind that virtue is the key to genuine, lasting happiness. It's not an easy path, but it is a rewarding one, filled with growth, resilience, and a deep sense of fulfillment. In the pursuit of Stoic happiness, every step we take in virtue is a step towards a more peaceful and meaningful life. One of the most compelling aspects of Stoicism is how it teaches us to reframe our perceptions to change our reality. This concept might sound a bit like modern psychology, and you'd be right to think there are parallels. Stoicism, however, takes this idea back thousands of years and integrates it into a broader philosophy that addresses how we can lead fulfilling lives by focusing on what we truly control. So, how does Stoicism help us reframe our perception? It starts with the premise that it's not the events themselves that upset us, but rather our opinions about them. For example, if you get caught in a rainstorm and feel miserable, it's not necessarily the rain that's causing your misery, it's your perception of the situation. Perhaps you see the rain as an annoyance rather than a natural occurrence that brings much needed water to the earth. This shift in thinking, from seeing the rain as a personal inconvenience to viewing it as a beneficial ecological event, changes your emotional response to it. This Stoic principle of reframing perception is incredibly powerful because it puts us back in the driver's seat of our own emotions. Instead of being tossed around by external events, we get to choose our responses. This is done through what Stoics call the dichotomy of control, which is simply distinguishing between what we can control and what we can't. We can't control the weather, the traffic, or other people's actions, but we can control our reactions to these things. Let's dive a bit deeper into how this works in practice. Imagine you're working on a project at work, and suddenly there's a change in project direction due to external factors beyond your control. You might initially feel frustrated or anxious about the changes and additional work. However, by applying Stoic thinking, you can reframe this situation. Instead of viewing it as a setback, see it as an opportunity to learn new skills or to demonstrate your flexibility and creativity. This doesn't just change how you feel about the situation, it changes the situation itself in terms of your experience of it. Moreover, this reframing of perception, according to Stoic principles, goes beyond mere positive thinking. It's about seeing the truth of a situation more clearly. It involves understanding the nature of the world as one of change and unpredictability, and then aligning our expectations and actions accordingly. This alignment reduces our disappointments and enhances our resilience, as we are no longer fighting against the inevitable flow of life, but moving with it. The practice of reframing perception also encourages us to focus on the present moment, instead of getting lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on the here and now, on what we are doing at this moment, and how we can do it with virtue. This focus is liberating because it narrows down the vast array of things that might concern us to the few things we can actually influence. Reframing perception and reality in Stoicism isn't just a coping mechanism, it's a transformative process that leads to true inner peace. By consistently applying this Stoic practice, we begin to see that many of the walls we face are ones we have built ourselves with our misconceptions and misplaced beliefs. Breaking down these walls doesn't just change our view of the world, it changes the world we live in. The Stoic practice of reframing our perceptions is about understanding the true nature of events, recognizing our power to choose our responses, and focusing our efforts on what we can actually influence. This approach doesn't just help us handle life's challenges more effectively, it empowers us to lead lives marked by calm, clarity, and purpose. As we continue to explore and apply these Stoic teachings, we find that the quality of our lives is not determined by external circumstances, but by the perceptions and choices we make. In Stoicism, one of the most profound and perhaps most challenging concepts is amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This isn't just about accepting whatever life throws at us. It's about embracing it with open arms, not just as an unavoidable reality, but as something beneficial and necessary for our growth. It's a powerful idea that turns potential adversity into a source of strength. How do we begin to not just accept but love our fate? It starts with understanding that everything that happens can be seen as an opportunity. Stoicism teaches us that our character is formed not through our experiences, but through our responses to those experiences. When we love our fate, we are essentially saying that we trust in the natural flow of life and believe there is value in whatever happens. This doesn't mean we desire or wish for suffering or hardship, but rather that we find peace and purpose in the inevitability of such experiences. The beauty of amor fati lies in its radical optimism. Instead of fighting against the currents of life, we learn to swim with them. This perspective doesn't come easily, of course. It requires a deep philosophical shift, a sort of mental rewiring that allows us to see the silver linings in dark clouds, without being naive or dismissive of the hardships. For example, if you lose a job, it's natural to feel upset and anxious. However, embracing amor fati would involve a shift in perspective, where you might see this event as an opportunity to pursue a path more aligned with your true passions, or to develop resilience and adaptability. Embracing amor fati also means letting go of bitterness and regret. Stoicism doesn't ask us to forget the past or ignore the pain. Instead, it encourages us to acknowledge our feelings, but not to allow them to control us. By loving our fate, we accept the past for what it is, a part of our journey that has led us to where we are now, contributing to who we have become. This acceptance frees us from the weight of past grievances, allowing us to move forward with a lighter spirit and a clearer mind. Moreover, amor fati is about finding joy in the journey itself, not just a destination. It's easy to think we'll be happy when we reach a certain milestone, when we get that job, when we buy that house, when we retire. But Stoicism teaches us that there's a profound joy available to us right here and now, in this very moment, if only we choose to see and embrace it. This doesn't mean we stop striving or becoming. It means we cherish the process as much as, if not more than, the outcomes. In practical terms, living with amor fati can start with small steps. It might mean taking a moment each day to reflect on something that didn't go as planned and finding something valuable in that experience. Perhaps it taught you a lesson, or maybe it strengthened a relationship through shared struggle. It could also involve more significant life changes, such as choosing a career path that feels true to your core values, even if it's less conventional or secure. Trusting that the challenges along the way will enrich your life's narrative. Amor fati enriches our lives by deepening our connection to the world and to ourselves. It helps us cultivate an inner resilience that acts as an anchor in the stormy seas of life. This love of fate doesn't make life easier, but it does make us stronger and more harmoniously aligned with the natural course of events. As we continue to explore Stoicism, let's try to see amor fati not just as a philosophical concept, but as a daily practice, a way to embrace each moment, each challenge, and each joy that life offers. By doing so, we transform our relationship with life itself, turning every experience into a pathway to greater wisdom and peace. Embarking on the journey to Stoicism is like starting a profound adventure, one that invites us to explore deep insights into our lives and fundamentally change how we interact with the world around us. It's not merely about learning a set of theories. It's about transforming those theories into everyday practices that strengthen our resilience, enhance our happiness, and deepen our understanding of life. The journey begins with a simple yet profound shift in perspective, recognizing that while we can't control external events, we can control our responses to them. This realization is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It's a liberating concept that frees us from feeling victimized by circumstances or other people's actions. Instead, it empowers us to take charge of our inner world. As we delve deeper into Stoicism, we learn to cultivate 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each of these virtues is not just an abstract ideal, but a practical guide to living well. Wisdom teaches us to see things as they really are. Courage gives us the strength to face challenges head-on. Justice guides us to treat others fairly. And temperance helps us find balance in all things. Embracing these virtues in daily life can be challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. Another key aspect of the Stoic journey is developing mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. This practice helps us become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and reactions. By observing ourselves without judgment, we can start to identify patterns that might lead us away from our Stoic ideals. For instance, we might notice that we tend to react impulsively when we're stressed, or that we hold on to grudges longer than is healthy. Awareness is the first step toward change. Practical exercises are also integral to this journey. One such exercise is the evening reflection, where we review our day and assess how well we lived up to our Stoic principles. Did we handle a stressful situation with composure? Did we treat everyone we encountered with fairness and kindness? These reflections not only help us learn from our experiences, but also reinforce our commitment to living a Stoic life. The journey to Stoicism also involves embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. This perspective shift is essential because it turns every obstacle into a teacher. When we face difficulties, instead of feeling defeated, we can ask ourselves, what can this situation teach me? This approach not only makes us more resilient, but also more open to learning and personal development. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to build a community or seek out like-minded individuals who are also on this path. Having a support system can be incredibly beneficial, as it provides us with encouragement, different perspectives, and companionship on our journey. Sharing experiences and challenges with others who understand and appreciate Stoic principles can enhance our own understanding and application of Stoicism. Finally, the journey to Stoicism is a lifelong pursuit. It's not about reaching a state of perfection, but about striving toward continuous improvement. It's about becoming more virtuous, more resilient, and more aligned with our true selves each day. As we progress, we'll find that the rewards of this philosophical path are not just about personal tranquility and resilience. They extend to improving our relationships with others and positively impacting the world around us. The journey to Stoicism is about growth and transformation. It challenges us to look inward, reassess our values, and align our actions with those values. It teaches us to be strong in the face of adversity and compassionate in our dealings with others. It's a path that not only enhances our own lives, but also has the potential to enrich the lives of everyone around us. Let's embrace this journey with open hearts and minds, ready to learn and grow in ways we might never have imagined. Integrating Stoicism into daily life is about much more than adopting a philosophical outlook. It's about transforming abstract Stoic principles into concrete actions and habits that enhance our everyday experiences. Practical Stoicism isn't just for times of crisis or philosophical reflection. It's for the ordinary moments, the everyday decisions, and the small challenges that shape our lives. The first step in practicing Stoicism daily is starting each day with intentionality. This means setting a few minutes aside each morning to contemplate the day ahead and remind ourselves of the Stoic virtues we aim to embody: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about asking ourselves how we can apply these virtues in the day's activities. For example, how will I exhibit temperance in my eating habits or spending? How can I practice courage in my workplace or personal challenges? This morning ritual sets a purposeful tone for the day, aligning our actions with our Stoic ideals. Throughout the day, practical Stoicism involves being mindful of our reactions to events and people. It's about observing our automatic responses and asking whether they align with Stoic principles when something doesn't go as planned. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we pause and consider a more measured Stoic response. This might mean taking a deep breath and recalling the Stoic view that we can control our reactions, even if we can't control external events. This habit of pausing and choosing our response can transform our interactions and significantly reduce stress and conflict in our lives. Another key aspect of practical Stoicism is dealing with negative emotions effectively. Stoicism teaches us that negative emotions are often the result of mistaken judgments or excessive attachments to things beyond our control. When we feel overwhelmed by negative emotions, it's helpful to step back and analyze their source. Are we upset because of something outside our control? Are we placing too much importance on external validation or material success? By questioning the roots of our emotions and aligning our expectations with Stoic principles, we can regain our composure and perspective. Practical Stoicism also extends to how we handle interpersonal relationships. Stoics emphasize the importance of justice and kindness in dealing with others. This means practicing empathy, being fair in our judgments, and considering the common good in our decisions. It's about treating others with respect and understanding, even when we disagree or when others do not treat us as we'd hope. By embodying these virtues in our relationships, we not only live more stoically but also contribute to a more harmonious and supportive community. In our pursuit of personal growth, practical stoicism encourages us to reflect on our day each evening. This isn't about harsh self-criticism, but about honest self-assessment. What did I do well today? Where could I have been more stoic? This practice of evening reflection helps solidify the day's lessons and prepares us to be even more virtuous and resilient tomorrow. It reinforces the Stoic commitment to continual improvement and helps us track our progress in living a Stoic life. Finally, practical Stoicism involves embracing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. This means viewing obstacles not as impediments but as chances to practice and strengthen our Stoic virtues. Whether it's a difficult project at work, a personal setback, or an unexpected change in plans, each challenge is a chance to apply Stoic wisdom and resilience. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy we read about, but a vibrant, living guide. It influences how we think, how we react, how we relate to others, and how we understand the world. Through practical Stoicism, we don't just survive the vicissitudes of life, we thrive amidst them, finding deeper satisfaction and peace in our journey through life. As we close today's journey into the heart of Stoicism, remember that embracing this philosophy is about more than just understanding. It's about living. Each moment, each decision, and each challenge offers a new opportunity to practice resilience, wisdom, and virtue. By integrating Stoicism into our daily lives, we don't just change ourselves, we change our entire world, one thoughtful action at a time. Did you know that most of us spend our lives waiting for someday? We tell ourselves, someday I'll be happy, someday I'll pursue my dreams, someday I'll live the life I truly want. But what if someday was actually today? What if I told you that the secret to unlocking your best life lies in a simple shift of perspective? In today's video, we're diving deep into the transformative power of living as if, a strategy that can revolutionize how you approach your goals and dreams right here, right now. Throughout this discussion, we'll explore how changing your mindset can not only alter your immediate reality but also set the stage for long-term fulfillment. I'm thrilled to share these insights, and I genuinely believe you'll find them both empowering and practical. If you value what we're doing here, consider showing your support with a simple free favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us keep producing content that makes a difference. And remember, each part of this video builds on the last, so make sure you don't skip any sections. Stick with me throughout, and let's unlock some powerful strategies together. Let's make someday today. Let me share a little secret with you. There was a time when I lived my life on hold, always waiting for the right moment to make my dreams a reality. It's easy to think that someday we'll have everything perfectly aligned, and then we'll be ready to chase what truly matters. But that day, it never just arrives. We have to create it. I started to wonder, what if I lived as though I had already achieved my dreams? This shift in perspective was inspired by Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on our responses to life's events rather than the events themselves. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed in using every moment as an opportunity to practice virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-discipline. So I asked myself, what would a successful version of me do today? Not tomorrow, not next year, but today? This approach transformed my life. Instead of waiting for opportunities, I began creating them. I acted with the confidence and intent of someone who had already succeeded, which led to opening doors I didn't even know existed. It was as if the universe began conspiring to help me succeed, because I was finally in tune with what I truly wanted and believed I could achieve it. Now, think about your own aspirations. What could you achieve if you started living as if your biggest goals were already accomplished? Imagine the sense of purpose and direction you'd feel each morning. It's not about fooling yourself, but about stepping into the shoes of your best self and moving forward with unwavering conviction. Remember, as if isn't about pretending, it's a practice in courage, a way to bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to be. And in this gap, you'll find not just the achievements you desire, but also profound growth in your character. Because when we act as if we're not just living, we're thriving, propelled by the best version of ourselves. This is the Stoic way, living each day as if it were both your first and your last, with the vitality and vigor that comes from aligning with your deepest values and ambitions. So, let's take that step today, not tomorrow. Act as if you are already the person who has achieved everything you ever wanted. Watch how it changes, not just the things you do, but also how you feel about everything around you. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about transforming your entire outlook on life. Let's delve into a powerful exercise that I often revisit when I feel disconnected from my goals. Visualization isn't just about dreaming. It's about creating a vivid mental blueprint of your future. Picture this. You've already reached your biggest goal. Can you see it? What are you doing? Who are you with? And most importantly, how do you feel in that moment? I remember the first time I practiced this, I was aiming to become a sought-after speaker, sharing insights on life and stoicism. I visualized stepping onto the stage, the lights, the audience's expectant faces, and the profound silence waiting for my first words. But the true shift came when I focused deeply on the emotions I felt in that vision. Confidence, excitement, fulfillment. This wasn't just a daydream. It was an emotional rehearsal for what was to come. The Stoics were masters at using visualization not as a form of escape, but as a tool to prepare for reality. They called it premeditatio malorum, where they visualized challenges to prepare themselves mentally and emotionally for future hardships. In our context, it means using visualization to fortify ourselves against the fear of failure and to bolster our resolve to pursue our ambitions relentlessly. Every morning, I spend a few minutes in this visualization, not just seeing but feeling the reality of my achievements. This practice propels me out of bed with a vigor that no cup of coffee can match. It's about aligning my emotional and mental state with my goals, ensuring that my actions throughout the day are intentional and directed toward making that visualized future a reality. So, what vision will you hold in your mind? What emotions will you choose to feel as if your success is already a fact? Embrace this technique and weave it into your daily routine. Feel the joy, the pride, and the sheer thrill of achieving your dreams, even before they materialize. This isn't just optimism. It's a strategic rehearsal for your success. I'll let you in on a transformative moment from my own journey. There was a time when my aspirations seemed like distant, almost unreachable stars. I wanted to be recognized as a leader in my field and influential and inspiring. But here's the twist. I decided to start acting the part long before the accolades and acknowledgments came my way. I began each day asking myself, how would the leader I aspire to be handle this? Whether it was dealing with a challenging client or navigating setbacks, I stepped up. I made decisions from a place of authority and confidence, not hesitance. I dressed the part, spoke with conviction, and perhaps most importantly, I made strategic choices that a successful person in my field would make. This wasn't about putting on a mask. It was about embodying the best version of myself, one decision at a time. Now, think about your own goals. How does the person you want to become handle their day-to-day tasks? How do they interact with others? How do they manage stress and setbacks? Emulating these behaviors before they become a reality is not just play acting. It's a profound exercise in self-actualization. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in accordance with nature, which, in our case, translates to living in a way that aligns with our true potential. Let me ask you this. What can you do right now, today, that aligns with your vision of success? Maybe it's tackling a project you've been postponing, or perhaps it's reaching out to a mentor. Each action, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming who you really want to be. And yes, there will be days when it feels like you're just going through the motions. But remember, consistency is key. Every act, every decision in line with your future self fortifies your path to becoming that person. Embracing your new role before it materializes isn't just a strategy, it's a profound transformation that begins deep within your emotional core. Let me share a chapter from my own life. When I first aimed to become a motivational speaker, every morning, before the sun even peeped through the curtains, I stood in front of my mirror, rehearsed my speeches, and soaked in the applause I imagined echoed through packed auditoriums. This wasn't about wishful thinking. It was about emotionally anchoring myself in my future reality. I still remember the butterflies, the nerves, and the raw energy I felt during those mornings. But here's the key. I didn't wait for my first actual applause to feel validated or successful. I allowed myself to feel proud, capable, and genuinely moved by my own journey and the messages I shared. This emotional resonance is crucial because it cements your belief in your potential and your path. It's what fuels you through setbacks and rejections. The Stoics often spoke about amor fati, a love of fate. They believed in embracing every aspect of life, not just the joys, but also the challenges, as necessary parts of your journey. By allowing myself to feel the emotions associated with my desired role, I was practicing amor fati. I was not just waiting for success to come and find me. I was living it in my emotions and reactions. How about you? What emotions would you feel if you achieved your greatest aspiration right now? Try to live those emotions today. Feel the joy, the gratitude, and yes, even the responsibility that comes with your dreams. When you align your emotional state with your ambitions, you're not just hoping for a future, you're living it. This practice doesn't just prepare you for your dreams, it attracts them to you. Because when you resonate with the energy of your dreams, the world can't help but respond in kind. In my own journey, the realization hit hard that dreaming big wasn't enough. It had to be paired with daily, actionable steps. This lesson became clear when I committed to writing a book on Stoicism. The project was daunting, immense like a mountain looming before me. However, breaking it down into daily, manageable tasks transformed what seemed like an insurmountable challenge into a series of small, achievable victories. Every morning I made it a point to write at least one page. Some days the words flowed freely, other days it was like squeezing water from a stone. But regardless of the struggle, this daily discipline was non-negotiable. It wasn't just about progress on my book, it was about reinforcing my identity as a writer and a scholar of Stoicism. I was living proof of Marcus Aurelius' advice, the color of your thoughts dyes your soul. By focusing on positive, proactive thoughts, I colored my soul with resilience and determination. Let's translate this approach to your goals. What's your mountain? Maybe it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or improving your health. Break it down. What can you do each day to move one step closer to your summit? It could be as simple as reading for 20 minutes, practicing a new language, or choosing a healthy meal over fast food. These actions might seem small in isolation, but cumulatively, they wield the power to transform your life. Now, I challenge you to think of 3 small actions you can take daily. Write them down. Make them as specific and time-bound as possible. For example, instead of saying, "I will work out more," say, "I will walk for 30 minutes at 7 a.m." This specificity acts as a mini contract with yourself, and fulfilling it daily builds integrity and self-trust. In the spirit of Stoicism, remember that it's not the actions themselves, but how we approach them that matters. Approach each small task with the same seriousness and dedication as you would your ultimate goal. This mindset shift is pivotal. Each small task completed is a brick in the foundation of your dreams. By committing to these daily actions, you're not just hoping for a better future, you're actively constructing it. Doubts and fears are companions on any journey worth taking. I recall the early days of my speaking career, standing backstage, heart pounding, palms sweaty, questioning if I was really cut out for this. What if I failed? What if the audience didn't resonate with what I had to say? These questions would swirl in my mind, threatening to undermine all my preparations and efforts. But then I would take a deep breath and remember a core Stoic principle. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca, this realization was transformative. It reminded me that fear is often not rooted in the actual events that confront us, but in the shadows of our minds. Acknowledging this didn't make the fear disappear instantly, but it allowed me to see it for what it truly was, an internal obstacle, not an external truth. Facing skepticism, whether from within or from others, is a part of the process of pursuing anything that defies the status quo. To move past it, the first step is to simply acknowledge these fears without judgment. Say to yourself, yes, I'm scared. Yes, I have doubts. This acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but of profound courage. It is the first step in reclaiming your power from the clutches of fear. Next, ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? This question opens up a space for you to explore possibilities without the weight of fear. Often, it's not about eliminating fear, but about learning to move forward in spite of it. This is what the Stoics excel at. They harness their perceptions and focus on what is within their control, which is always their own actions and responses. Turn this into a practice. Each time you encounter a doubt or fear, write it down, acknowledge it. Then, write a counterstatement that reflects the action you would take if fear were not a factor. This practice not only helps in managing fears, but also builds a reservoir of courage and resilience that you can draw upon over time. When I first embarked on my journey to integrate Stoicism into my daily life, I quickly learned that the true challenge wasn't in understanding its principles, but in applying them consistently, every day, in every decision. I needed to embody patience, resilience, and wisdom, traits that are easy to admire but incredibly challenging to live out, especially when you're faced with the stresses and pressures of everyday life. I remember one particularly grueling week when everything that could go wrong did. Clients were unhappy, deadlines were missed, and my personal life felt just as chaotic. It was during these moments, these tests, that the power of consistency became crystal clear. Instead of letting despair take hold, I focused on maintaining my Stoic practices, reflecting on my reactions, focusing on what I could control, and accepting what I couldn't. This didn't solve all my problems overnight, but it helped me navigate them with a clarity and calmness that had previously eluded me. Consistency in our actions transforms what are singular acts into habits, and eventually into traits of our character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Your consistent acts create your reality." Each day, by choosing to act in alignment with my values, no matter the circumstances, I was not only developing resilience, but also actively creating the life I envisioned. Here's what I suggest to anyone watching this. Find your practice, your anchor. That thing that you commit to doing every day, no matter how small. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for, meditating for 5 minutes, or reading a page of a thought-provoking book. The size of the action isn't what transforms you, it's the regularity. It's about doing it on the days you feel good and pushing through on the days when you don't. Think of it as forging your own character in the fire of daily life. Each day is an opportunity to reinforce who you are and who you want to become. This consistency is what builds the bridge between your current self and the ideal self you envision.